Bizarre and Sky here again, a little late.
Only an hour. It's fine.
Oh
It's fine.
my gosh.
I have good excuses.
We actually do have a very good excuse. We were out earlier filming a different secret video that will be coming out at some point later. And while we were out, we were like, oh, well, we're both hungry. Let's just hit up this fast food joint right here. And oh my Lord.
We were at that fast food joint for probably an hour.
Almost like 45 minutes.
First, the
legit.
line took forever.
Yeah.
They all looked confused. They were like running around with their heads cut off.
So like we went through the first time and like everything was fine. And then like I was gonna take Bizarre back to his car, and it was then that we realized they didn't give us the shake that we ordered, which Bizarre paid for. So I was definitely driving back through for that fucking shake.
Yes.
And so we had to wait in that already really slow line all over again.
It was even longer.
On the line had already gotten longer since we had gone through the first time, and then on top of that, they had gotten my sandwich wrong. It wasn't supposed to have onions because I hate onions, and it had this like weird barbecue sauce on it, which I did not want. So I was like, also this, please fix it if you could. Like, I wasn't trying to be difficult. I thought I was very polite the whole time. But
they didn't.
Oh my gosh, the people at that drive-thru hated me. Like, we were sitting at the window for at least 10 minutes after we finally got through the long-ass line again. And
this lady,
like, someone like rushes out the window and goes, "You had the sandwich?" And I was like, "Yes, I had a sandwich." And she was like, "Okay, here you go." And I took it because I panicked because this lady's showing a sandwich in my face. I was like, I was waiting on a sandwich. I open it. It's not my sandwich. Like, worse than last time. Like, this wasn't even my sandwich. Like, my sandwich was supposed to have like toast bread, and this was a regular burger bun. So I was like, that is somebody else's sandwich. So I like flagged them down, and I'm like, I'm very sorry. She caught me off guard. This isn't my sandwich. And the girl takes it back with like the bitchiest smile because I guess I was being a pain in the ass. But I was like, man, I just want my sandwich.
You paid for it.
I said I was sorry like a bunch of times. Every time someone came out the window, I said sorry.
And try to explain that they messed up at the. You forgot at the speaker.
Oh my gosh, yeah, at the speaker.
Because so confused.
Yeah, because I was trying to tell him, I was like, we just came through. Number one, we didn't get our shake that we paid for. And number two, I had a sandwich, this sandwich that was supposed to be no onions and also no barbecue sauce. And he goes, oh, so you want this no onions with barbecue sauce? And I'm like, no. I had to say this like 5 times into the speaker. He kept saying, you want barbecue sauce? I was like, no, I don't want the barbecue sauce. So we finally get to the window, and they give me an entirely different sandwich, and I hand it back to them because that's not my sandwich. That's probably somebody else's sandwich. And the cook comes out, this like super angry black woman, and she is so mad at me. She's like, I know that was a toaster. I'm the cook. I made it. And I was like, I didn't get a toaster though. Like the toasters, they have the toast buns. And she was like, yeah, that's what I made you. I was like, I believe you. I don't think she understood that I entirely believed she made a toaster. I don't think she understood that I was not handed a toaster. Like, I understand we both know what toast looks like.
I think she was offended.
She was very mad. But I was like, I'm not questioning. You did not do your job. I'm saying whoever you handed that sandwich to handed it to somebody else and handed me something different.
Yeah.
That's all I was trying to say. But she was so mad. She goes back, another like 10 minutes pass, and then she gives me a sandwich, and I'm like, thank you very much. I'm very sorry. And she goes, yeah, whatever. And then we leave. So that whole exchange took like a whole extra 45 minutes.
The food that they did get right wasn't that good.
Yeah, like
it was little like my bun tasted like rubber.
Yeah, rubbery, and then our mozzarella sticks were cold and old, and
I would never go back there.
Overall, 0 out of 10. We would never go again.
Yeah.
But enough about that. We are here for Yaoi Talk Number 6.
Cannot believe it's 6.
You've been doing this for 6 episodes now, and
You've been
half
on
of which
for
I have
3.
been.
So, yeah.
And we are talking about my pick, my favorite yaoi of the bunch. Which one is it? It is the one we've been promising you for like 2 weeks now. We're doing Love Stage, finally. And to make up for the tardiness, since we said we were going to do this like 3 times already, and we did not, we are doing volumes 1, 2, and 3. All in one for y'all.
And next week we're going to be doing 4 through 7.
Yes. Just a. I'll let you start it off.
Okay. So
It's your
first, I like to start off with introducing the characters to the story.
Mhm.
And you have notes.
I do.
She has detailed.
Oh, do I have notes? You told me to take notes, and boy, did I take some notes.
Literally, like with these notes, you could literally just read the volume, and it would be the same thing as with the notes.
Yeah, just without the pictures.
You just have the pictures. It's just like reading a novel.
But yeah, I have notes. The ones on my characters, I'd say, were pretty good, right? Just the
That's
characters.
really good.
Notes.
The mango one?
The mango? Oh, yeah. Mango's like always my favorite flavor. Oh, where? Oh, wait, hold on. This is volume 2. Wait, here we go. Okay. So, do you want to, or should I?
You just briefly don't read the notes. Briefly introduce the characters, like say the character's name and then say
Maybe just the top half of this.
probably, yeah, but then just go a little bit further than that. So read the top half and by memory just say a little bit more, but don't read it.
Okay.
Unless you want to.
I took way too many notes if you're not catching on to that.
If you want to, you can.
Okay, so our characters in the story. First of all, we have our protagonist. This cute little boy right here. Kind of looks like he could be a girl. Is a boy. That is Izumi Senna. He is our protagonist. He is a total otaku shut-in. But he is super adorable and kind of spoiled. Like, when I say kind of, I mean really spoiled. But he loves manga. His favorite manga is this magical girl anime called Lala Lulu. He is obsessed with her.
And guys, he is like the biggest otaku ever. He has like the anime or manga that she just mentioned.
Yep, Lala Lulu.
It's like his room is like statue after statue after statue
and
after
poster after poster after
Like-
poster, and yeah, all the Lala Lulu things. He comes from a family that is made of star entertainers. Everyone in his family
They're very
is
rich.
famous. They are very rich and wealthy, and everyone in his family is a famous idol of some sort.
Yeah, so well, I put more of like his parents are more kind of retired. Like they're still super famous. Everyone knows who they are, but they're not like.
I did hear you say that. Nagisa, the mom, actually does still do some acting.
Well, yeah,
work.
like they still do acting work, but I feel like they don't do like the big.
The dad
roles.
doesn't really act anymore. He's kind of like just like the head of their founded company.
Yeah, and I feel like the mom's not as like.
The parents aren't important.
Like I'm trying to think of like. I was trying to think of like a celebrity that used to be like super famous that's still famous, but she just plays in some movies. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So they're kind of like
Nothing
retired. Yeah, I know.
Because I've already forgotten about them. They're not famous anymore. Sorry.
We don't really watch like.
We don't watch things with real people in them.
Yeah, who does that? Not us.
Yeah.
Trash.
Literal trash. But the best trash.
Yes.
Sparkly trash.
But anyways, go on. I'm sorry.
He comes from a family of entertainers. His mother started out as a model, became a famous actress. His father started out as a musician and then also became an actor, which is where he met his mom. And then his older brother, Shogo, is the lead singer in a very popular band named Crushers.
Doesn't he do acting too sometimes?
He appears on talk shows and things, but he doesn't really act.
Okay.
He's mostly just in his band.
Gotcha.
And then in that household, we also have Rei Sagara, who is the family's manager. He gets them all their gigs. He keeps their schedules organized, tells them where they have to go, what they have to do, and all that. And he's also kind of just like Izumi's like second mom because his real mom's like never there.
Talent agent. Wasn't that the one?
Talent agent? Is that the official term?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, he's the one who gets them all their gigs and stuff. So that is the Senna household. And then, of course, what are you doing? Okay. That is the Senna household. Outside of the Senna household, of course, we have our other main protagonist. And you are currently using the manga I was about to hold up. Our other main protagonist and love interest is this man right here. That is Ryoma Ichijo. Ryoma Ichijo is the current top actor and star. He's in all the commercials. He's in all the movies. He has his own TV show. He's done documentaries. He is the main guy. Yeah. So that's them. Those are our characters. I don't believe I
And
skipped
also, he also has a friend in the manga club. That's not like a main character at all.
Oh yeah,
He does
Izumi has a friend. Izumi, being a major otaku in his school, he of course goes to a manga club where he has one friend that does appear a few times later in the story that you should probably know the name of, but he's not super important usually. But his name is Kuroi. So those are our cast of characters, and I love almost all of them. Who don't I like? His parents. They don't matter.
I mean, they were going to be irritating.
They're hardly there, and when they are there, they don't really add anything.
Well, the fact that he's wealthy. He's kind of spoiled. Is because
he's extremely spoiled.
And his brother's spoiled too.
His brother spoils him.
My theory.
Stop. Your theory is wrong, and your theory is gross.
So, do you want to go into chapter 1? What happened first?
I think you should go into chapter 1 since that's the one that you
start it, and then I'll chapter.
Okay. All right. So. I think Bizarre really wants me to handle this, as I have read the manga a few times now and watched the anime multiple times.
Okay, fine. You put it like
quite
that.
familiar.
So, pretty much 10 years in the past, his Sanbab's names. Izume's mom was playing in a commercial when she was like more famous. Like
she was playing in a wedding commercial.
Did they sell wedding dresses? Like, what was the commercial?
It's a commercial for a wedding magazine.
A wedding magazine, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, so she was playing in a wedding magazine commercial, and the flower girl that
tiny little child
was supposed to be like in the
one that was actually cast.
Yeah, the one that was actually cast dropped out at last minute.
Her flight got delayed, I believe, and so she wasn't going to make it on time for the shoot.
Yeah, so they were all freaking out, and the mom, being starstruck as she was, wanted her family at all to be in the spotlight. So she got her son to play the little girl because he was very cute and feminine and... and so
he was a tiny child at that age where you could pass one for the other. Dressed him up right.
So, yeah, I mean, like, innocent. Yeah. So, so they put him in a dress and a wig and don't think much makeup, but
they got him some little pigtails, with cute little short hair.
Yeah, really cute.
Put him in a cute little dress, gave him a bouquet.
He was the flower. He was the flower girl, and then a little boy was kind of like the cute little love like little love interest.
He was playing role opposite to the flower girl.
Yeah, kind of like the flower girl. I think caught the bouquet.
Yes.
That the bride, the mom threw, and then they looked at each other.
Yeah, they were supposed to catch the bouquet, and then they would turn to look at each other and give each other a cute little smile.
Yeah.
Like, we'll probably get married in the future.
Really cute.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Wholesome commercial. Overall.
Yeah. To advertise for this wedding magazine.
Yes.
So, 10 years have passed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the 10th anniversary, and this wedding magazine, thank you for telling me what it was, because I was a little bit... Anyways, so, yeah, I just knew it was commercial. So, it was the 10th anniversary of this commercial wedding magazine, and they wanted to do... And I guess, obviously the magazine was still doing well.
Yes.
So they wanted to do kind of a 10th anniversary special, like a cute little special. So they wanted
where they would continue the story that they set up 10 years ago.
Which I think is really good marketing.
It honestly, very cute idea. I love it.
If anyone knows of stuff that they do famous advertising or a famous show that they do 10 years let me know.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's really, really cute, and I want to know about it. But anyways, anything weird like that, I would love to know. But anyways, so they want to get the same girl, and that's really...
It was actually they wanted to make sure they got Ryoma back for the show, because Ryoma has since then become the number one idol in Japan. Everybody wants him in their show. They wanted Ryoma, but Ryoma had a condition, and that was the entire cast must be the same.
So
the wedding people didn't particularly care about Izumi, but Ryoma did.
And that was a condition. Okay.
That was Ryoma's condition.
That part.
Ryoma was not going to act in this commercial unless they guaranteed the entire cast would be exactly the same.
Because Ryoma had a childhood crush on the little girl in the commercial that was actually a boy, but he didn't know that. For this whole entire, this whole entire 10 years, he's always had a little crush. Probably an innocent crush, that you get when
it was his first love, and then he also had a memento that his grandmother gave him that just happened to match the eye color of the girl. So a lot of things that seem destined to be there.
Yeah. Really cute,
Very wholesome.
As of now. And so, anyways, so they go to the shoot, and
it is worth noting that at this point, Izumi hates show business.
Yeah, he just... What's his name again? Izumi? Izumi
hates show business.
Just kind of wants... Oh, you go ahead for that.
Sorry. So, during that commercial 10 years ago, it traumatized Izumi from acting because he has it burned into his brain, them casting him unwillingly into that commercial. And him being so nervous that during the first take, he unfortunately soiled himself in front of everyone.
Super nervous.
Scarred him for life from show business.
Yeah, so now all he cares about is anime and manga, and he wants to be a mangaka.
Yep, he wants to make a manga.
Yeah, he draws a lot.
Not
he's
well.
With drawing. He thinks he's better than he is.
Well, it's not that they make note of it too in the manga. It's not that he thinks he's better than he is. It's just that he's in fact so bad he can't even tell what's wrong. So he draws something. It's terrible. Oh, hello, Otaku Mike. Welcome to the stream. What? No, he didn't shit himself. He peed himself. He peed himself. I did say soiled. I guess that's usually associated with poop. No, he peed himself. He peed himself. Welcome to the stream. We are talking about Love Stage, volumes 1 through 3. You have 2 in your hand. I have 1.
I was getting ready.
Volumes 1 through 3. Yes, that is what we are talking about today. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, no, he did not shit himself.
Otaku Mike. So pretty much it's about these 2 young kids that played in a commercial when they were younger. And then it's the 10th anniversary of that commercial. and they want to cast the same people.
Yeah,
and
that's a good way to sum up everything we've said so far.
Yeah. And
hello, Madame Bella Uwu.
what?
What the fuck?
Right? It's a yaoi. What do you expect?
I mean, I'm not sure exactly. Maybe there's a delay on this. I'm not sure exactly which part you're what the fucking to. Otherwise, I would explain to the best of my ability.
But anyway, so go on with.
So yeah, so he was traumatized by that. So now that they're trying to cast him again 10 years later, he is entirely unwilling. He does not want anything to do with acting, anything to do with shooting any commercials. He just wants to be a mangaka, but his drawings suck.
And he's also so like dedicated to it as well.
Oh, I don't speak English. Oh, well, I mean, that's okay. You feel free to hang out with us if you want.
Yeah.
We'll try our best to make this coherent.
Can't understand English.
I said we'll try our best.
I
never said our best was great. We're not showing pictures. These come shrink wrapped for a reason. So we will not be showing any pictures. But we will do our best to make this as cohesive as possible. Just in general. So, yes, Izumi doesn't want anything to do with show business. He just wants to draw manga.
Yes. So, anyway, so pretty much that the show must go on type deal. And so his Izumi's brother, Shogo, really wants him in the commercial.
Yes, because, well,
why?
Ray really wants Izumi in the commercial because Ray is their manager. He wants what's best for Izumi. He wants Izumi to have a future. Izumi wants his future to be a manga, but he sucks at drawing, so he can't do that. And he's already born into a family of famous people, so
Kay knows that he's not going to be a good manga artist, so he wants him to act.
Yes, so he really wants him to be in the family business of acting. So, knowing that Ray himself cannot convince Izumi because he tends to lose his temper with him, he calls in his big brother Shogo to yeah. Those two words go together very well.
What language do you speak?
Good question.
You can go on.
Ray calls in Izumi's big brother Shogo to convince him to do the commercial. And the way Shogo does this is by showing up and promising him that if he does the commercial to completion...
This plot was so goofy.
It's hilarious.
It was so goofy.
If he does the commercial to completion, he will give Izumi this one-of-a-kind pink alarm clock. But it's not just a generic alarm clock. Since Shogo is so famous from being the lead singer of a band, Shogo has managed to get into the Lala Lulu recording studio. He had the voice actress of Lala Lulu herself record some special lines just to record them onto that alarm clock. So every time it wakes Izumi up in the morning, it says, "Good morning, Izumi, rise and shine." Lala Lulu is cheering for you too. Yes. So he says he can only have that clock if he does the commercial to completion, and Izumi, being the biggest fan of Lala Lulu, immediately accepts, convinces himself that, you know what, now that I think about it, dressing up as a girl again, even though I'm older now, it's kind of just like cosplay, and I've always wanted to cosplay, so yeah, I'll totally do the commercial. Give me the clock. What are you doing, boo?
Advertising that we're live.
Oh, okay, cool. So Izumi accepts to do the commercial, and Shogo gives him his new specialty clock. And now we skip to Ryoma's point of view. Ryoma has just got news that the Senna family has officially accepted to bring back the original cast for the commercial, and he is very excited because he finally gets to see the girl he had a crush on 10 years ago, but only now they're all grown up, so she's got to be gorgeous, right? Oh, yay! I love that. Yes, post it. I love it. So, yeah. I lost my spot for a second there. Tiny brain fart. But yes. So, Ryoma gets word that they are officially doing the commercial and that they have actually found everyone from the original cast and everything is a go.
Yes.
Do you want to pick up or should I just keep going?
So pretty much they're all there, and even though that some people are not really wanting to be there, but he definitely wants his clock.
Yeah, he wants to keep the clock.
And I mean, I wish that people bribed me with stuff that I didn't want to do.
Right, but I mean, they're rich; they can do stuff like that.
I know. I was really I was like, I would actually have obeyed my parents if we can just bribe me with anime.
If they found your favorite voice actor and had them record special lines on an alarm clock for you to wake you up in the morning.
That's kind of creepy.
It's a bit extreme, yeah.
I mean, I'm a bit extreme, but that's like just creepy. But just goes to show how obsessed he is.
He is a major weeb. Do not underestimate the weebness.
Yeah. Insane. Which, I mean, the manga didn't really, I don't feel like even did it justice. It just kind of hinted at it because it wanted to focus on other things. So I feel like he's even more of a weeb, just in my head.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I feel like he's even more.
We kind of lose the focus on the weebness as the story progresses.
Which I really enjoyed. I loved it.
But he does constantly make really funny anime and Yaoi especially references.
Yeah.
Throughout his lines, which is always really fun.
Keep in mind that he's not necessarily, in his mind, he doesn't know he's attracted to guys yet.
Yeah, in his mind right now, he is 100% straight.
Yes. So keep that in mind because it's funny how it progresses and his hobbies change.
Yeah, that's true for both.
True.
Because Ryoma also thinks he's in love with a girl.
Yeah. True.
So, everything's ready to go. They are going to shoot the commercial. It is the morning of, and Izumi is sweating profusely. Totally terrified now that it's the day of. Doesn't want to do it anymore.
Wait.
Izumi. But of course, his manager Ray is not having any of it, so he drags his ass down to set regardless. And that is where they get Izumi all dressed up like a girl. They put him in this beautiful dress. They give him a nice long wig to make him look extra pretty.
And a veil.
And does he get a veil? I didn't think he got a veil.
I was just saying like wedding dress.
Oh yeah. They put him in a wedding dress.
Yes.
I think they actually intentionally leave his face exposed because it is worth noting as well. It's a major point that Izumi, well, you can't really see it in any of the artwork, which sucks, but they do mention it a few times. Izumi has actually very striking eyes. His eyes are like this golden color on the bottom, but they fade into a very beautiful royal blue at the top.
Maybe in the color pages in the front. Is there any color pages in the front?
I don't think these, no. That's gray scale. Oh, that's colored, but no, his eyes look mostly yellow.
Well, yellow eyes.
But no, like it's like literally his eyes are two-toned, so they're golden for the most part. But at the very top, they are a very gorgeous royal blue, which is also why Izumi could not find a stand-in because nobody else has those eyes. And those eyes are specifically what Ryoma remembers from the commercial shoot 10 years ago. So they drag him down there. They get him in a dress. They intentionally leave his face exposed because his eyes are gorgeous. And they get him in a nice little wig. And they set him up to do the commercial, assuring him that no one's going to find out. He's actually a guy. Like, it's totally okay. Everyone's just going to think he's a girl. It's just a one-off thing. And then he can go back to normal life. It's fine. However, that is when Ryoma shows up. And he has brought Izumi a bouquet. He reintroduces himself as Ryoma Ichijo, the #1 star in Japan.
Do you want your drink?
Oh, I still have drinks. Ryoma reintroduces himself, bringing Izumi a bouquet of flowers. And Izumi kind of just thinks this is like a professional like actor type thing, I guess, to give your opposite role a bouquet of flowers. And then that, I believe, I may just reference my notes if that's okay. I won't read from my notes. Okay, because my memory's fading as we keep going. As I keep drinking, yes.
I'm singing faded. Have you heard that song?
No. Yeah, so they go ahead and they try and do the first shoot. But just like 10 years ago, Izumi is still a complete nervous wreck about performing and being on camera. And all he needs to do in this shoot is run down the aisle into Ryoma's arms. And
there's a seed in my chair.
There's a seed in your maraschino cherry? Fuck that place, man. They put cherry, not the cherry, they put fucking seeds in their cherries. Maraschino cherries aren't supposed to have seeds. What the fuck? All right. Anyway. So all Izumi needs to do in this shoot is run through the door, down the aisle, into Ryoma's arms, and he doesn't know it, but there is actually a kissing scene planned. But that's all he has to do.
How does he not know it's a wedding? There's always a kissing scene.
He doesn't know it's a wedding because whenever Ray was going over the script with him, Ray intentionally left that part out because he didn't want him to.
Did you not tell that he was in a wedding dress?
Well, no, because last time he was in a dress, he didn't have to kiss anybody. He doesn't do this often. So Izumi only has to run down the aisle and into Ryoma's arms, and then they're supposed to share a kiss, but he doesn't know that. But as soon as the camera starts rolling and Izumi bursts through the door as he's supposed to, he falls flat on his face. He's obviously still very nervous, and that's when Ryoma shows up and offers him the same little trinket that they used last time, 10 years ago, that helped calm his nerve, and that is a magic marble that Ryoma has.
The same color as his eyes.
It is the exact same color as Izumi's eyes. It's got that golden bottom and then just a little bit of a lovely royal blue at the top. So Izumi, it jogs his memory that, oh yeah, that's actually how we got through that last time. Yeah, we'll do it again. And it works again. And so they do the shoot again and everything goes perfect. He runs into Ryoma's arms and they hug and they all look real cute and sweet. And then that's when the kiss happens.
Then it stumbles him.
Yeah.
He runs out.
He runs away. Well, actually, he shoves Ryoma to the floor.
Ryoma, this whole time, still thinks
Izumi's a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryoma still thinks Izumi is a woman and is very in love with how he thinks Izumi has grown up to be because Izumi's dressed as a gorgeous woman and was actually kind of probably looking forward to that kissing scene, whereas Izumi, being a boy, pretty sure he's straight, didn't know there was going to be a kissing scene, is not too thrilled that he's just kissed another man. And that was his first kiss.
Yeah.
So.
Not only is so his feelings are all over the place.
A lot of emotions going around right now.
He runs out, and his brother, of all people.
He locks himself in his room, in his dressing room. Ray tries to get him to come out. He won't, so Ray has to call Shogo back again to try and convince Izumi to come out. Yes, Shogo is his older brother, the guy who gave him the alarm clock.
Now he's giving him a limited edition body pillow of his favorite magical girl.
Yeah, so this time, Shogo, Izumi tells him what's what happened. And Shogo's like, nah, it's just one kiss, and like it was just a peck, and like, come on, it's just for show business. It doesn't mean anything. You don't need to worry about it. And he's like, you don't understand. That was my first kiss, and it was with another guy. And he's like, oh, well, that's a real shame. If you finish the shoot, I had this like,
and then his brother was
super rare body pillow for you.
His brother's like, oh, I wanted to be your first kiss.
He did not say that.
Really?
He did not say that.
I swear I read that.
What they said was, and it was kind of weird, but they do explain it. Shogo says, I used to give you little kisses like that all the time when you were younger. Because Shogo was studying abroad in like France, where they are a lot more smoochy, I guess. Yeah. So that's why that was that.
Mm-hmm.
It was. They said it in the manga.
We're in an argument, but go on.
We are having differing opinions on some things. But so Izumi sees this body pillow and recognizes that it is literally like only 5 people got this thing.
Yeah. It's like a chase.
And it is his, like, he had wanted it, but he didn't get it because it was one of those like raffle drawings. Like it was only chance. Like there was no way he could have bought it with all his family's money. And Shogo has just appeared with one.
He has it.
So, well, probably using his stardom powers of being in a very popular band, has acquired a pillow. And he was only going to give it to Izumi if he finishes the commercial.
Yeah. So he has to finish it, even though he has to kiss the guy.
Izumi,
so he's
on his hands and knees with those depressed lines, says, I want the pillow. So he has to finish the shoot. But thankfully, he reemerges from his room back on set to realize that Ryoma, kindly enough, has actually talked to the director while he was having his little freak out, and he has had the kissing scene removed from the commercial. Just for Izumi and his precious little butt. They have changed the script so that Izumi does not have to do any kissing. Damn it.
Because I bet he already feels like super uncomfortable anyways. Like he's in the dress.
He's gotta be so miserable.
Like the first time I read it, I thought he was just being like a whiny bitch. But then like the second time I read it, I kind of,
you're like, okay.
Yeah, I kind of got where it's coming from.
It.
So he doesn't want to be in this commercial at all. He is kind of shy too. He's like
he's
timid.
Extremely shy.
Yeah, he's timid and shy. He doesn't want to really be around people. He doesn't want to do this commercial anyways. He's only doing it just to be bribed.
Yeah, the last time he was in a commercial, he embarrassed himself in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be center of attention, but then yet he has to wear a dress, which he's not used to. He's used to dressing
because like he's a grown. Yeah, he's 18 years old now. He's a grown man.
Yeah, not only that, like he doesn't even like to dress up in guy clothes. He wears
he just kind of like throws on like baggy shirts and like some baggy
pants. Like I picture him in like a hoodie and like baggy pants.
Yeah, and
like
his hair's always in his face, like long hair in his face.
So like for him to even dress up as a guy is like out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
So he has to wear a dress and
like super fancy, and it's not even for his gender.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I could definitely the second time.
And people are going to be filming this. Thousands of other people will see this.
Yeah, so there's like cameras everywhere. So like the first time, I just thought he was just being over dramatic, and then reading it again, I get it. Like
No, yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of related to it the second time because I was going in it, looking at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, and then to top that off with the cherry on top of you're pretty sure you're straight, and there's a kissing scene with a man that you didn't know about.
Yeah, and his first kiss.
And that's his first kiss because, like we said, he doesn't go out.
Yeah.
He's never kissed anyone.
Stays to himself drawing manga.
So Izumi's got a lot of feelings going on right now, none of which are good.
Yeah.
But thankfully, that's when Ryoma had stepped in, and he was like, "Hey, if she is so wholesome and innocent and sweet, and that was her first kiss, we shouldn't pressure her to do it. We should remove it. There are ways we can make the commercial just as sweet and appealing without us having to lock lips.
Lies.
No, not lies. They do it.
It's sweet though, like the kiss.
It is sweet, but it's also just as sweet without it.
Anyways.
So back to
Moving along.
my notes here. We were on.
I'm awful with names. So it's after the commercial, and dude, what's his name?
Main character?
The other one. Ryoma.
This one?
Yes.
Ryoma.
Ryoma is making a pass, still thinking that main character.
Yes. Okay. So after they finished filming, they're about to wrap up. They tell all the extras to leave. Izumi tells Ryoma bye and like, thank you for your help. Thank you for lending me again your keepsake that your grandma fucking lent to you that you've kept for all these years to help me calm my nerves and help me get through the shoot. See you later. But Ryoma stops him because he's been waiting to see her again for 10 years now, and he's not going to let her slip away again. That is when they get mobbed by a bunch of fans. So the manager, Ray, steps in to save Izumi, tells him to go back to his dressing room while he tries to save Ryoma. Ryoma eventually catches up to Izumi right outside his dressing room, where he then confesses his feelings.
I thought about you for 10 years.
Yeah. That. So.
Move on. Stop us all. It's definitely a freaking Yaoi. Whatever.
I mean, realistically, no one carries a torch for that long. But
I mean,
that's the wonderful world of manga.
I did.
Well, then what the fuck are you talking about?
It was an awful idea.
I mean, it ends up being not that great of an idea.
13 years.
Well, it ends up being not that great of an idea
No,
here
it's
too.
an awful
So, I mean, it starts out rocky, but it smooths out.
But I hung out with him and dated him on and off. This was literally he had a crush on him.
I saw you once, and I couldn't stop thinking about you for 10 years.
For 10 years,
but
it's a little different.
Because he also I feel like that's where the marble, and they don't really mention the marble a lot, but I feel like that's our connective tissue here because that marble before he even met Izumi was already important to him because his grandmother had given it to him at a very early age. Are we scooting back? We need to scoot the camera up then. Oh boy. Okay. I guess we're leaning back, folks. So here, that's as close as we're going.
Careful that way.
More this way?
No, I guess there would be. Yeah, there you go. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's flipped from
the
direction we're looking at.
Okay, now I'm more comfortable.
And Rorschach's like, whoa, you guys are moving.
No, I fall asleep.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep sleep. No, don't fall asleep. Rorschach can sleep. You can't.
And I'm leaving Yaoi Talk, and Sky is gonna be the new.
Whatever. You're the one that just bought. Well, spoilers.
That's not spoilers. You could literally say you just bought 5 Yaoi.
You did just buy 5 Yaoi. Yeah. And I bought 0.
Well, you bought manga?
I bought manga, but I didn't buy Yaoi.
Well,
Love Stage is literally the only Yaoi I own.
You pretty much bought 5 volumes then.
Essentially, yeah, they were biggins. But yeah, so Ryoma confesses his feelings to Izumi, still thinking he's a girl, and that is when Izumi is like, I don't know if I should tell you that I'm a guy right now.
Well, no.
This is really awkward.
I remember he wasn't even thinking to tell him he was a guy. His brother comes barging in.
No, he was contemplating it.
Was he?
He was like, would it be a good idea to tell him or the truth, or would it be better not to tell him? Before he can think past that.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, before. Yeah, but before he can think past that, that's when his big brother, who was eavesdropping through the door, hears, and his big brother is very protective of him, and says, "Hold on now, if you're trying to get with my baby brother, I'm not gonna let you." And Ryoma, it takes a second to click where he's like, what are you even talking about? Wait, did you just say brother?
Yeah.
And that is when
it all started. That's when it all started.
That's where we start unraveling.
Yeah.
Shogo, unable to believe that Ryoma didn't notice this before, pulls down the top of Izumi's dress to reveal his man chest.
Man chest? You could just say chest.
Well, you know.
It doesn't mean
To Ryoma.
man chest. His man chest. You could have been his chest.
I guess, yes. Okay. But to Ryoma, he wasn't expecting that.
I know.
He was expecting boobs.
It's just weird how it sounded in my head.
Sorry.
Okay, you're fine.
So he pulls down Izumi's top half of his dress to reveal
his man chest.
I was gonna say chest that time. And Ryoma's kind of like, maybe she's just really flat-chested. I don't know.
What?
And that is when Shogo goes, "No, I'm not joking here," and lifts up the bottom half of Izumi's dress. And I guess Izumi wasn't wearing underwear.
Why?
I don't know, but he lifts up the bottom half of his dress, and we don't see anything, but that's a dead ringer that that's a man. I don't know if he was wearing underwear or not. It would be kind of weird if he wasn't, but he sees something that confirms that's a guy. And Shogo's just kind of laughing at him for not realizing sooner. Izumi feels bad for having, I guess, accidentally deceived Ryoma and is about to comfort him when Ryoma says, "Don't," like something along the lines of, like, "Don't touch me, you cross-dressing pervert." Before storming off angrily and swearing he's going to get some kind of revenge. And Izumi's kind of just like, "Wow, I thought you were a nice guy this whole time, but guess not." And Shogo's like, "Oh no, yeah, he's always like that, kind of a jerk."
Yeah.
But Izumi quickly like brushes it off because he's like, "Well, never gonna see him again anyway. What's it fucking matter? I got my fucking pillow." Literally.
He's like, "I got what I wanted.
I
Time
got my rare as fuck body pillow. I do not care."
Yeah. Kind of like how we're only at our jobs for payday.
Literally.
That's how I felt.
So, I keep putting my notes to the side, but I need them. I believe. Oh yeah. Okay. So we're past that. We are. Yeah. So we're here. Izumi goes back to his normal life after that, reading manga, going to school,
Drawing
all that,
manga.
trying to draw manga.
He's trying to enter a contest.
So this is So he decides.
That was the right point. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
I actually know something, so I'm gonna take it. Doesn't he enter a manga contest, and the person that he's presenting his work to is like one of his favorite mangakas?
Yes. So Izumi has decided he is going to make his own manga, and he is going to enter it in a contest that one of the judges is actually one of the writers for his favorite anime and manga.
Which kind of really pisses me off. I'm like, you can like more than one fucking anime. Like,
but that's his favorite. Like, we saw his shelves. His shelves are full of things. They can't just be full of La La Lulu.
Yeah.
He's just got the most merch for La La Lulu.
Yeah.
So.
That is kind of irritating. To me.
The only one he ever mentions is La La Lulu.
Is that a real name?
That's not. I'm pretty sure that's. I'm pretty sure that's just like a Sailor Moon ripoff.
I was kind of thinking that. I was like,
I'm pretty sure it's just not Sailor Moon. So Izumi is about to leave for the day to go back to school when Ryoma tells him that their maids have actually found Ryoma's marble in Izumi's laundry. And it's cracked now. His super sentimental marble that he's had for over 10 years that his dead grandmother gave him. Izumi not only kept it, but cracked it now also. So that's awkward. He's about to take it to inspect it when he drops it again and it comically bounces around like a fucking ping pong ball and now it's annihilated.
Talking to his manager.
Yes, he's talking. Ray's the one who found it.
Ray kind of says something like distracting or off-putting, like embarrasses him, and that's why he drops it. That's what I think happens.
I don't think so. I think Ray was just like, he was like, oh, Ray didn't know what it was. Ray was like, we found this. Do you know what it is? And he was like, oh shit, that's fucking Ryoma's marble. I forgot to give it to him. And he's like, oh, he probably wants it back. And then like they go to exchange it and they drop it. I'm pretty sure. So Ray tells Izumi he should definitely replace the marble on his way back from school and then give it back to Ryoma and apologize. As Izumi is walking to school, he notices that there is the commercial that he was in, dressed as a girl playing, and that commercial has actually gotten really popular. But even though there are people surrounding him that are fawning over this commercial, no one recognizes him as the girl that's in it. Which is a good
happy
thing.
About.
Yes.
He's very happy about that.
He was like, huh? I'm glad. So, meanwhile, Ryoma is at work filming one of his famous dramas, and he keeps running into a prop pole. Right in the face. Over and over.
He's very distracted.
He is entirely
cannot
distracted.
stay focused on his job. He is like head over heels, like
he cannot
high school butterfly.
He cannot stop picturing Izumi in his dress and wig, like grown up exactly how he thought he would be as this gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
He can't get him out of his head, and it's distracting the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
So they decide to just cut for the day and send Ryoma home because he's obviously a little off. He keeps running into the same goddamn pole over and over and over again. It was hilarious.
Yes.
So his manager is taking him home, and he finds himself getting lost in daydream after daydream about Izumi. And this is where things kind of take a turn.
Take a turn for the better or for the worse?
Kind of for the worst for the moment. Ryoma gets a very dumb idea because he now knows that Izumi is not a woman. He keeps picturing Izumi as a woman in his head, but he now knows Izumi is not a woman. He doesn't want to keep thinking about Izumi knowing that that is a man.
Yeah.
So he very stupidly decides that obviously he didn't get it in his brain enough that Izumi is a man. So he asks his manager to take him to the Senate house so he has a bad plan. He has a very bad plan.
I hated this part.
Why don't you talk about it? Because you're the one, you have much more stronger feelings for this one than I did.
Okay.
Reasonably so, mind you.
So I feel like they could have definitely handled this differently.
There were definitely other ways they could have taken this.
Definitely. Like, he could have still kind of been obsessed. He could have still, had the exact same feelings, exact same, they could have even made it to where pretty much the same result happened. They could have left this one part out, and this whole entire first volume could have been 5 stars for me.
I feel like the first half of the scene would have been fine if it hadn't been followed up then.
Yeah.
By the second half of it. Because it was kind of understandable until it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't like slowly progression into that. It was like,
no, we just kind of jumped there.
Yeah, it was like, kind of like, I have these feelings for you. I don't know why I like you, guy. Like, where is this coming from? I need to know, like, my emotions are confused, blah, blah, to trying to rape.
All bets are off.
I am going, well, maybe not even rape. You just want to see him naked.
Well, no, like, that's the part I feel like was kind of understandable, because his plan is...
I don't think it was understandable. It was still inappropriate.
I mean...
Very inappropriate.
I'm not a man, nor am I gay, so I can't speak entirely, but as the reader...
So if you thought that a chick was a dude, and you had feelings for this dude,
that's a good way to put it.
A chick, and would you go, oh, okay, even better yet.
I also don't really have the same personality type as Ryoma. I'll start by saying that.
Well, let's switch the roles to someone you might have more personality with and be more understanding. What if that happened to you where someone else thought you were the opposite sex but needed proof, so they came over and they started stripping you to see you naked?
I mean, I'm not saying... Explained.
Where did we go?
We should tell them what we're talking about. We're getting into the debate, and we haven't even explained the scene we're arguing over.
Think about that.
This is definitely not the... This is my favorite Yaoi, and one of my favorite love stories. This is definitely its lowest moment.
No, it's not the lowest moment.
I think so.
I don't think so, but we'll get to that.
Ryoma gets an idea. I guess it's the only idea he thought of. I don't know. Ryoma decides the only way he can get Izumi out of his mind, because he doesn't want to be thinking about this girl knowing he's a man. He decides the only way he can stop this is if he reaffirms, because he only got a quick glance last time. If he reaffirms and burns it into his memory, since his memories was plaguing him, that no, this is a man. If he does that, then his feelings will go away.
Yeah.
So he asks his manager to drive him to the Santa household under the pretense that he wants his marble back. Oh. But he doesn't actually care about his marble.
He just wants to get the guy naked.
He's just there to see Izumi naked one more time, to burn it into his brain that this face also has this penis.
Now that I think about it, he wasn't doing it in a sexual way.
No, it didn't start sexual in any way, shape, or form. It started as a very misguided, desperate attempt to quell some feelings. Yeah, it still wasn't great. It was still a terrible idea.
Because, he could have handled it to where, hey, I have these feelings for you,
Well, we get there later.
Well, no, this is what he could have done then.
Okay.
He could have been hey, I am confused with my feelings. Is there any way that we could go out to lunch and just talk and get to know this person a little bit better, to know that they're a dude.
But
he doesn't have to necessarily strip him butt naked.
I don't think. See, that's the thing. I think that kind of makes Ryoma's character kind of complicated, because that's also kind of one of the reasons I actually really enjoy this Yaoi, is because neither of them started out gay. They were both so certain they were straight.
I actually really liked that. That was interesting.
They were so certain they were straight.
You don't really see that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I really like that. That's such a realistic take on how that can go, and all those confusing emotions and feelings. And they both react to this entirely differently. And in Ryoma's case, he reacted with aggression and he did not handle this healthily at all. He got like really angry at Izumi. He thought Izumi had like strung him along and was deceiving him.
He was kind of angry at himself.
But yeah, like that was just him misdirecting his anger at himself onto Izumi because obviously Izumi didn't say, "Hey, fall in love with me."
Yeah, he was there just for a paycheck.
Yeah, like he's not even for a paycheck. Izumi was forced to be there both times. Like he was bragged the second time, but the first time he wasn't even consensual.
Yeah.
So Ryoma doesn't want to be gay. He's like upset that his mind is being plagued with thoughts of this face, but that face has a dick attached to it. And he hates that. Like he wants to be a straight man. He's always thought he was a straight man. And so he's like, I'm straight. The only reason I'm thinking about this face is because I think it's a girl face still. I didn't get a good enough look at this dick. So it's still a bad idea. Don't get me wrong. It's a terrible idea. He should, like, nothing about it is okay. But it kind of like when you think about all those feelings, it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
You can kind of see where he got the terrible idea from. So he shows up at the house under the pretense that he is there to get his marble back.
Yeah.
Which in reality, the marble's the least of his concerns at this point. His concerns are that I can't stop thinking about a man. So Izumi isn't home. He's about to go to manga club. But his parents are just on their way out to go to a dinner, and Ray is accompanying them. Ray, the manager, tries to buy Izumi time, tries to get Ryoma to come back on a different day because he knows, like, oh shit, we fucking broke that marble. Izumi definitely hasn't had time to buy another one yet, but Nagisa, the mom, is actually really in love with Ryoma because he's the hot new star, and she's totally all about like being friends with the other big stars. So she's like, absolutely no, you can totally stay. It's totally fine. Yeah. Just text Izumi, tell him to come home and give Ryoma his marble back. So unfortunately, that's what Rie, I'm mixing Ryoma and Ray's names now. That's what Ray does. And Izumi makes a mad dash for his house because he feels terrible that he hasn't replaced that marble yet. Izumi, yeah, this isn't very sturdy on the back end. Oh God, you're tipping us. We're sitting on a futon right now that's laid back flat like a bed, and it's not totally stable on both sides.
He's literally just sitting in camera like... this is like a minute late.
So, oh God.
I'm trying to get it to it.
You've got to lean on the like front end. No, it's literally not. It's okay.
Oh, bro, it's
This futon is cheap and unstable.
No,
you're like really testing it right now. I'll sit here, so this should help. Yeah, we're out of frame.
Jesus, I was so comfortable.
I'm sorry. My futon's not sturdy. I apologize.
Okay, I think
so,
just give me 4. I just want my damn shake.
Izumi dashes home to try and return Ryoma's marble and apologize because he hasn't had time to replace it. He wants to apologize that he broke it.
Yeah.
So Izumi knocks on the door, says he's home. Ryoma's alone at this point. His parents left to go to their dinner, and Ray had to drive them, so they're alone. And Izumi goes, I'm home. And we do have a quick funny moment where Ryoma catches himself fixing his hair in the reflection at the at the sound of Izumi's voice, which is kind of cute. We deserve that at least for what's about to come next. This is why Michael. Luckily, no, we were arguing about it, and then we were like, we should explain what we're arguing about. That is when, first of all, Ryoma doesn't recognize Izumi at all in his normal everyday attire. He doesn't recognize Izumi without the wig and his baggy clothes and with his glasses. He doesn't.
Messy hair.
Yeah, his messy hair. He's not willing to believe it's Izumi until he takes off his glasses and he gets a good look at those striking eyes of his. And he's like, well, shit, this is the fucking nerdy ass kid I fell in love with, apparently.
Man, same sex.
And also same sex.
Even though it's supposed to be
But
straight.
that's what I'm here for, right? I'm here to fix that because I'm straight. My brain obviously just hasn't fully processed yet that face has a penis. So, oh boy, this is where we get a little not okay. And by a little, I mean a lot not okay. But thankfully, it's only for the scene. Obviously, this doesn't ruin the whole thing, which is why I agree with you. It does get a 4.5 out of 5, that 0.5 being taken by the scene.
Yes. It was so close though.
It was so close to
it might have
perfect.
even been more of a. I was gonna say it's at the end, but I'm not gonna say now. I would have given it. I gave the first volume a 4.7.
Yeah, because like it definitely doesn't ruin like the whole rest of the story. It's just like kind of a drag.
I love the first volume.
It's great.
So much.
Yeah. So
I will definitely be rereading the series like all the time. I cannot wait to watch the anime.
We have to watch it together, please. I know I've already seen it like 10 times. But please watch it with me. Sounds good. So by all means, don't let what we're about to say deter you from reading it if you are interested, because it doesn't detract from it for the most part. It's just a little off-putting. Definitely off-putting.
It does, but it's still worth it.
Yeah. So like at this point, like Ryoma is still like kind of like, well, he's being very stupid. Like you can still kind of see where he's coming from. He's like, I need to see, like my brain needs to put 2 and 2 together. Like obviously, well, my brain's put 2 and 2 together, but obviously my heart hasn't put 2 and 2 together because my heart would never love a man. So obviously I need to see your penis again in order for me to realize that you are a boy and therefore my heart should not be so in love with you. So he sees Izumi and immediately asks him to strip. Izumi, of course, is like, I'm sorry, what?
And he proceeds.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not fucking doing that, but Ryoma insists. Yeah, so yeah, they chase each other around or Ryoma chases Izumi around the house, like pulling stray pieces of clothing off until he eventually pins Izumi on the couch and pulls off his boxers, and Izumi is there. He's there.
He's just there.
And Ryoma gets what he wanted. He gets a good look at that's a man. Unfortunately, it does not disillusion him like he thought it would. Unfortunately, it does the exact opposite. He thought if he looked at it hard enough, it would repulse him. But in fact, it did the opposite. It did the exact opposite. And then he begins assaulting Izumi on the couch. He starts kissing him. He starts licking him, touching his nipples.
And we came up with a quote saying,
"Pleasure is not consent."
Pleasure is not consent. It is not consent.
We would like to preface this by saying that pleasure is not consent.
Just because it feels good.
Izumi doesn't fight back because it does feel good, but he definitely does not consent to this. He's crying. he doesn't consent. He's confused. He's scared. He's crying. He does not consent. He has no idea what's happening. He thought this guy was coming back to get his marble back. But no. PSA, pleasure is not consent. Because while Izumi is confused because he... That should be the title. Yaoi Talk number 6, pleasure is not consent. while Izumi doesn't fight back because it does feel good, he definitely doesn't want this to be happening because Izumi also thinks he's straight and also he's a virgin. He already, Ryoma already accidentally stole his first kiss, and the last time they saw each other, Ryoma called him a bunch of mean names, and now he's assaulting him sexually.
A lot of emotions.
So there are a lot of emotions going on both. Yeah,
really not any good ones.
Definitely no healthy ones on either end of the spectrum here.
Yeah.
But thankfully, this is when Shogo, Izumi's big brother, steps in to save the day. Because Shogo has a kind of spidey sense for his little brother. He knows when he's in trouble, and we disagree on this point here.
He so has a thing for his brother.
He does not.
He so does.
It's supposed to be that generic relationship where I'm the big brother, and I'm overprotective of my little baby brother.
Complex.
Yeah, it's a complex, but it's not a sexual thing.
It's such a sexual thing.
It's not a sexual thing.
100% sexual.
I disagree. This is what we've been arguing over more than the last scene we talked about. I swear to God.
Because
title of this video: pleasure is not consent. Incest is not the best.
Incest is the best.
It is not the best.
Incest is the best.
No.
So this is what we've been arguing about.
All night.
I think there's undertones with their.
No, I disprove that by saying that Shogo is actually already in a romantic relationship.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yes,
he's still flirting with everyone else. You even see that.
He flirts, but he doesn't ever do anything. He'll make the average flirty comment.
He's not going to do anything with his brother, but he still has feelings more romantic for his brother. Yes, incest is the best.
Incest is not the best, and pleasure is not consent. Thank you.
The second one.
I need to run to the bathroom. On that note. Quick break. If you're watching on YouTube, grab yourself some snacks and grab yourself a drink if you want to drink with us and you're of age.
Oh,
we're going to take a quick break.
You grab me a drink.
Yes, on my way back.
Yes.
If you're saying entertain the people.
Well, can you read me a favor?
Yeah.
Pass me a book. I'm scared if I move. Volume 1.
Volume 1. Okay.
Yes. So, the art for this.
I love it.
I really enjoy the artwork. Let me try to flip it to a page. I'm allowed to show. It's really well drawn. Let's see. But yeah, my first read of this, I couldn't get into it. I only read volume 1 the first time around. And Sky just raved about this series so much. About how amazing it was and how great it is. And I was like, okay, well, I already bought all 7 volumes. I want to read what I have. So even though I couldn't really get into volume 1, it's not that I hated it, but I don't know, it just didn't hit with me. And then the second time I read it, I absolutely fell in love with the series so far. And yeah, so it's kind of weird that you have to reread stuff sometimes to actually, get it. And yeah, but anyways, oh God, not showing that. You can see that.
What flavor do you want, Boo?
Anyone but mango. I'll take some strawberry.
You're showing them some of the artwork.
Yeah. Oh God, this futon.
Yeah, it's not great.
So anyways, where are we?
Help with. Oh, that was you. We were at incest is not the best and pleasure is not consent. That's where we were.
We were at incest is the best.
No, incest is not the best.
How did you know? I thought you could be like, well, how do you know?
That's literally what was racing through my brain. Anyway.
I have a long lost brother I never met before.
I mean, so do I, but I don't want to have sex with him.
How do you know if you never saw him?
I met him once.
Oh. Well, I guess that ruins the mystery. That's not hot at all.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't want to have sex with the brother I only met once.
Dexter complex.
Unless you're talking about Dexter's Lab.
No, pretty much like he's in love with his sister and his sister's in love with him. But they're like, we can't do this because we're related. And so they don't.
Is it kind of funny though? That sounds like that could pass for Dexter's Lab.
You just ruined my childhood. My childhood is fucking ruined. Completely fucking ruined. I'm good. Oh my god. This is bad. At least I watched Dexter not in my childhood. Now you just. Anything else you want to fucking say about the Powerpuff Girls or anything that you'd like to add?
Him was a iconic transgender icon in history. You asked if there was anything I wanted to say. You didn't say it had to be anything new.
Anyways, moving along.
Shogo interrupts them. His Izumi senses tingling, and he senses that his little brother is in some peril. So he busts in, and he hammers Ryoma upside the head right before he goes a little too far. Well, no, Ryoma's about to take it. Up until this point, Ryoma's just kind of been feeling him up and kissing him all over.
Which is still not okay.
It's still not okay, but it still hasn't gotten as bad as it could. So, thankfully, Shogo stops that from happening as he's about to put that penis he was so worried about in his mouth. And he stops that from happening and then quickly scares Ryoma away because those two fucking hate each other.
You need proof that I have a penis. Here you go.
He doesn't say that. He says something more along the lines of, didn't know the #1 bachelor swung that way. If you're into that, why don't you try it with someone your own size? Talking about him and Ryoma, and Ryoma and him do not get along. They've met each other before. They hate each other.
Like rivalries.
They're rivals in the show business. Yeah,
they're around the same age, and
Shogo being in a band tends to steal like all the fangirls and the spotlight a lot from Ryoma, so he really kind of hates him for it.
And Ryoma feels like he just got his fame through his parents, and he didn't have to work.
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, like he was born into the industry, whereas Ryoma was
had
not.
To actually work hard to get into it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like tension,
a lot of angry feelings between the two of them,
which I actually really liked.
So Shogo,
liked that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So that's why Shogo knows that him coming onto him that way will definitely back him the fuck up.
Yeah, so I also felt like it was kind of him just being kind of sarcastic and bitchy in a way. It wasn't like, I don't know, that's how I felt.
For Shogo making that comment?
Yeah, it was.
No, it definitely was.
Yeah, okay. So
it definitely was.
So you felt that way too?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was more like sarcastic.
It was, because obviously I've already told you who Shogo's really
Which, yeah, like, I mean, I do sarcastic quoting a lot, because it's like, even though like I'm not serious, it's like, kind of like when straight guys are like all paranoid about it. Mm-hmm. I do it just for fun.
Get at them, yeah.
Yeah, to get at them, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you do that on multiple occasions. It's funny. Like, they have no reason to be so anxious of you.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I don't know.
But yeah, so we cut to our next chapter where Ryoma wakes up in his bed in his apartment, and for at least 2 seconds, he hopes that all of that was just a dream.
But unfortunately,
we as the audience also wish it was a dream.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Sadly, it actually happened.
I'm not ever giving that bitch a 5 stars. It was just would have been okay. Not that it would have been okay, but it wouldn't have been.
It would have been less not okay.
Like, yeah, it would have been terrifying and awful for him, but it's just a dream.
Yeah,
so
but at least it wasn't real.
no one would have actually done.
But no, sadly,
Sadly,
the cruel
it was
reality is that it was in fact real, and he did unfortunately
Almost.
sexually assault Izumi.
Yeah, not almost, but definitely.
Yes,
sexually
he
assault.
definitely sexually assaulted him and almost raped him. But that's what Shogo was there for.
Brother
So
coming in to save the day.
he did. Stop making it weird.
His older brother.
So Ryoma feels really bad about it. At least.
So he's super freaking depressed.
He is so depressed.
And just like at this point, so apologetic. Like he just wants
He feels
to fix
terrible.
everything.
Because, like, you've got to think, too, Ryoma didn't think that was going to happen either going
Yeah.
into it.
He pretty much made his emotions
His 10 years of built up
and
Emotions.
his emotions and his horniness and
his kind of frustration at what was happening.
Kind of like fog.
Yeah, all just got into this big
his
ball of
horniness,
badness.
and he feels and he knows that he did wrong. He knows
Yeah.
that he assaulted him. He knows that he went too far.
He wanted it to
What?
not be real.
It still doesn't make it okay, but at the same time,
At
it
least
makes
it makes
easier.
it makes it easier because at least
then-
he realizes
realizes
it was
and-
not okay.
And when you kind of like hated him for a second, you still didn't like
Yeah.
forgive
You
him. what he
realize-
did,
yeah.
But you realize that he's human.
Yeah, he's not a
humans-
monster.
Yeah, humans make
He
mistakes.
is human.
Yeah, humans make mistakes. And so you kind of bond with him that way.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
hey.
Drunker.
Finally awake, huh?
Did you get my message that I was home?
No. I only knew you were home because
You know, I was home.
I heard snoring.
Yeah, and we thought it was like empty, and so she's like, wait a minute.
She didn't try to open the door.
I hear someone.
I opened the door once and then I saw you were sleeping and I closed it again because we were going to be loud. Sorry.
You good?
Want to join us?
No.
We're talking about love
I
stage.
don't have much to say.
Just say what you think of it.
Oh, he thinks Ryoma looks like a predator.
Well, you can come say that, Corey. I want you to be a part.
He closed the door. I don't think he can hear you.
You're my favorite.
Do you want to tell our audience about how you think Ryoma looks like a predator?
That bitch does look like a fucking predator. Watch Berserk.
No.
Watch Berserk.
We already did.
We've already talked about Berserk. Well, I don't know if that was on stream or not, but our feelings on that are pretty similar.
Play Mega Man.
Oh, babe, you should look in the Barnes and Noble bag. I think there's something in there that you'll like. I got us something. It's definitely not solely yours.
Where is it?
The Barnes and Noble bag's over there.
Bam.
Yep, bam.
I'm going to also borrow that too. But I'm going to read it for a readathon I'm doing in October.
You'll know which one's yours. Well, which one's ours? Which one I'm sharing.
Do you want to
Yeah.
show it on stream?
We might as well show it on stream. What the heck?
Good show.
We went to Books A Million earlier.
Yeah, and
Michael.
I got 5 yaois that I'll be showing off later.
I picked up this behemoth. Juji
Show
Ito's
the front cover.
Uzumaki. This is the front cover.
Or the back cover, sorry.
You mean the
Or-
spine art?
And the inside.
Oh. Oh, I didn't even see that yet.
Wow,
Look at that.
Gorgeous.
I didn't open it to the very first page.
And
That's
and then-
beautiful.
And then the back.
So tell
then the
Coy,
back.
tell Coy how I was rearranging the.
I mean, this is already 18 and up, right?
Yeah.
We can
So-
show you this.
Hey, Sky.
Yeah.
Tell Coy and tell them what I was doing. So they just didn't need to display.
Oh, yeah. He was being real OCD about it.
It was a hot mess. So
They're
I
going
was-
out of business, so
Oh,
everything's
yeah.
super
I
disorganized.
just don't think they really knew what they were doing. So they have like some manga like of his titles. the capsule they were displaying the manga was like empty. Then they had some of his glasses and then the journal.
Thanks for getting this for me, man.
For us, but you're welcome.
Thanks for letting me borrow it.
You're welcome.
We have to break up. I'm taking half. Right now.
Fuck no, you ain't. Not unless you're paying me half for it. The show is $30. No, but that's the most I've spent on a single volume of manga.
Well, it's technically 4.
It is technically 4 volumes,
So,
but the most I spent on a single book.
so anyway, so like I went OCD on it. I literally went to the other like the actual manga.
He rated the manga section of all the Junji Ito titles.
Yeah, and brought it over because they didn't have all them.
There was a section, like there was a little like
In cap.
yeah, there was do you know what an end cap is? Okay, yeah, there was an end cap of Junji Ito that was totally like barren except for like 3 books, a notebook, and some cups.
Yeah.
So Michael rated the actual manga section
And
for
I
all the Junji
organized
Ito
it,
titles.
And I made it look all pretty.
Oh my
And I displayed it really nicely, and people look at me weird. But
I
I
can't hire
wanted,
you at a closing location.
No, they can.
but I wanted it to look nice. Okay, I was proud of it. And I should have took a picture, but I didn't. But yeah, like I mean, I made it look nice. Like it looked
It was very
professional.
lovely.
And
They'll know exactly where Junji Ito is when they pack it all up as they close.
yeah, they didn't even have all of his titles over there. I had to freaking go get them.
You did.
Yeah, it's like they didn't know what the fuck.
But to be fair, I don't know that the employees did that so much as customers just might have done that because Fruits Basket was also like all the way by the Z's when it should have been by the F's.
Yeah.
And like a bunch of shit was out of place because they're going out of business and that shit was rated.
Which I'm probably go back to.
PSA, if you're in a fucking store like that, please put things back where you found them. And if you don't know where they go, give them to someone who does.
Yeah. Or just do like me and make yourself an ink cap.
I maybe not necessarily do that. I mean, it's probably okay there because they were closing, but in most stores they
I made
have
it look a
set
lot-
spots
I
for
made it-
certain
I made it
things.
look a lot better. Did I not?
You did, but they're closing, so they probably didn't care.
They probably wouldn't care even if they were opening. They're probably like this crazy ass guy. Why the fuck does he care?
At my work, I would have cared.
Well, you'd have done a better job displaying it.
Also true.
Exactly. Anyways, back to Love Stage.
Back to Love
Brief
Stage.
break.
Brief intermission. We're still
Not sponsored.
not sponsored by Books a
Unfortunately.
Million or Junji Ito, sadly.
Unfortunately.
But if you
But if
want
you
to,
want to.
hit us up.
That was weird. Oh god.
What do you mean that was weird? How long have we been friends? That wasn't weird.
I knew you
So back to Love Stage.
were. Are we even past volume 1 yet? How long?
No,
are we going?
we're not. We've been going for an hour and a half, and we're not even done with volume 1.
Okay, so let's wrap up volume 1.
So, Ryoma feels. We're actually right at the end of volume 1. Ryoma feels terrible for what ended up happening because he wasn't planning for that to happen either. It turns out him and Izumi's big brother Shogo are actually scheduled to be on the same show today.
The
So
same day.
we're at the next day now, and Izumi is locked up in his room, reliving what happened, and he's honestly more confused, it seems, than traumatized. He's kind of just like,
I think he's still traumatized.
I mean, he's definitely still traumatized, but he's more so, it seems, confused that
because
because they're both so sure they're straight. He's like,
yeah, but he
a
was
man
getting,
touching you isn't supposed to feel that good.
Yeah, but he was getting pleasure out of a man touching him.
Yeah.
So what
And
was the
that
mix
to
of
him
emotion
is
and
entirely new because he's been in love with
But-
Lala Lulu this whole time.
Yeah, but what we say is just because
Yeah, pleasure is still not consent.
pleasure is not consent.
But that is like, not only is he like traumatized, but he's more so confused because he never thought like a man touching him would actually feel good.
But it did.
But it did. But
Even
that's
though
still
we-
not consent.
Even though he didn't want it.
Even though he
Still
did not
felt
want it,
good.
it still felt good. And especially weird coming from a man. Cut to Ryoma and Shogo. They actually have a show they're supposed to do together today. Being such big names in the industry, they are going to be on a comedy show.
Mhm.
And Shogo, knowing what happened, is furious. He is swearing
He wants-
vengeance for his little brother being
he wants
molested.
to protect his little brother.
He keeps trying to make it weird, but it's totally normal for like an older brother to not
And
want his little brother.
overprotective- and overprotective
If you were a
big
bigger brother and your little brother got molested, would you not want to beat the fuck out of his assaulter?
Coming from the person that got his hip broken because his sister was called a whore and you went off on the guy, then what do you think?
So I feel like you shouldn't be trying to make this creepy. I feel like you should.
I can ship them if I want. I have the right to have my own fetishes.
You're right. I shouldn't kink shame you. You're right. I'm sorry.
Incest is the best.
I personally disagree, but that's just my opinion.
I personally disagree with myself.
Okay,
It's okay.
cool.
Keep going. I just like saying because it's hilarious. I don't know why.
All right. Shogo is very excited that he gets to see Ryoma because he's really excited to give him what for assaulting his baby brother.
He wants to be.
However, what he does not count on is Ryoma showing up essentially zombified, obviously beating himself up enough for the both of them. He obviously has it. Oh, Hamlet of Salvation. Hello. I have an important question. Does the Bible have any guidance on how many times you can fart on your hand and smell it before it's a sin?
It's a trouble.
Okay. I mean, I've never read the Bible, so I can't tell you. He totally got me off my train of thought.
That was the point.
He's ready to give Ryoma what for assaulting his baby brother, but he does not count on Ryoma obviously beating himself up enough for the both of them. So Ryoma shows up. He obviously hasn't slept. He's obviously very shook at his own actions. Yeah. And he sees Shogo and in a nobody seems okay. Oh, Nutmeg Cute Socks. Hello.
Hey, Nutmeg.
Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us.
One of my Instagram friends.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, since I posted that on Instagram.
Yay! Welcome to the stream, Nutmeg. Thank you for joining. I hope you'll enjoy what we're talking about. We're talking about Love Stage right now. We're just at the end of our summary of Volume 1. So I hope you're into that because that is what we are on right now. I don't know if you've read it, but this will be uploaded onto YouTube if you've missed anything and if you'd like to go back and check. But yeah, so he does not count on Ryoma showing up feeling terrible for what he did to Izumi earlier. And we get this kind of really funny moment of Ryoma in his shooketh condition sees Shogo and calls him Shogo Oni-san, which is like Big Brother Shogo.
Big brother.
Yeah, because he plans on, like, it's that thing of like he plans on marrying Izumi, so eventually he will be his stepbrother.
Stepbrother.
Will you stop? Shogo's caught completely off guard by this. He was expecting to beat the shit out of this guy. He wasn't expecting this guy to show up beating the shit out of himself, and let alone asking him for help, because Ryoma does feel terrible about what transpired. So Shogo actually agrees to help Ryoma apologize to Izumi as long as Shogo is there to supervise.
Right. I don't blame him.
Yeah, no. Who could? Who could? That is a totally reasonable deal to make.
Yeah, what he makes, he just wants to say sorry.
He just wants to
He
apologize.
feels awful.
Izumi has been holed up in his room this whole time, reliving the whole scenario. Rei, worried that Izumi, already being such a shut-in, may not never recover from this, barges in and tells him, like, hey, don't let this keep you down. This was nothing. You're fine. It'll be okay. Hello, Darth Pen Manga and Comics. Hope you both are great. We're great. We are talking about my favorite. And hello, Justin Berry. Hey, hey. Good to see y'all. Thank you for joining us. You wanted me to do what? Oh, I just did that, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Helmet of Salvation, and that was that guy, and Darth Pen and Justin. Yeah. Hello. Welcome to our stream. We are talking about my favorite Yaoi series. We are talking about Love Stage. And we are just wrapping up our summary of the end of Volume 1, and then we will get to our final thoughts. So, Izumi has been locked up in his room this whole time, reliving his assault that he endured from Ryoma.
Yes.
His unintentional assault, but assault nonetheless.
Yes.
And Ray,
Because it feels good.
Yeah, pleasure is not consent. We said it already for those of you on YouTube, but for those of you just joining in the stream, we have already said this before. Pleasure is not consent. Ray, his manager and second mom, and you are shifting us. Ray, his manager and second mom, worries that Izumi may not recover from this already, being so introverted and so much of a shut-in. He barges in and tries to tell Izumi that, hey, you shouldn't let this keep you down. Like, that was nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't let it, like, keep you in a rut. And Izumi argues with him, like, you couldn't possibly understand how I feel. However, Ray is also gay. And he tells Izumi that he actually knows exactly how he feels, which makes Izumi immediately feel a little better. Because, it's always nice to have someone to talk to who understands what you're going through. So just to reaffirm a few things that Izumi is confused about, because Izumi, up until this point, totally thought he was straight. He was in love with Lalulu. That was his waifu.
Yeah.
He did not expect. You just shifted the entire camera.
I can't even get up. I'm falling.
Oh,
And I spoke
you have broken the futon.
Completely. Okay, there we go.
Sorry. I mean, that's not how it was, but that's fine.
I fixed it.
That's probably, well, actually, that might be worse. It might tip over easier now on your end. But maybe it'll be better since this one's lifted and this one's flat. I don't know. Go do what you were going to do.
I was falling, so I was just getting up.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going somewhere. So Izumi, just to reaffirm a few things, because while he did not consent to anything that Ryoma did, he definitely didn't expect the touch of another man to actually feel good.
Even though it was not consensual.
Again, even the pleasure is not consent, but he always thought that, like, if a man touched him, it would feel gross and like, yeah. But in fact, it actually ended up still feeling good, which still not okay. You're giving me the look. Still not. How many times do I have to say it?
Move on to the next thing. Okay.
So he just wants to, since Ray says that he knows exactly how he feels, he just wants to reaffirm one specific detail. And he's like, is it normal for a man to enjoy having another man, specifically, I guess, stuck on your nipples?
Yeah, he said yes.
Which Ray immediately confirms, oh, absolutely. Yeah, totally normal. Don't worry about it, man.
So that makes it feel a little bit better.
Izumi now feels a million times better. He at least knows that while what happened was not okay, he at least knows that he's still normal. Like, that's still totally okay.
Yeah,
But he thought it felt good. Like, that's fine. Like, that was not the issue. That is when Izumi finally gets the confidence to leave his room and go back to school.
It's not okay. I hate this futon.
It's a sheep one. I'm sorry.
It was a lot more comfortable yesterday or last Sunday.
I've been sleeping on it. It might be getting worn out. So Izumi finally gets the confidence and courage to go back to school. He's no longer stuck in his depressive rut. And that's when he sees there's a crowd outside the front of the school because Shogo and Ryoma are waiting there for him.
And he's there to apologize.
Ryoma, I mean, Izumi does not know this, but Ryoma's there because he asked for Shogo's help because he just wants to apologize because he wasn't planning for that to happen either.
Yeah, he pretty much can't eat, he can't sleep, he can't act.
He's a mess.
He's so distracted.
He feels so bad. He can't do anything
can't perform
else.
his job.
So he's there to apologize, but Izumi doesn't know that. So that's the end of volume 1. Volume 2?
Let's move through volume 2 a little bit.
A little faster as we are almost 2 hours in.
So this is one of my favorite parts in coming up in volume 2 is my favorite part. It's pretty much where I need help with names.
Izumi. Ryoma.
Izumi is in his manga club and he's like, just having fun drawing, he's having fun talking about manga, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of reminded me when I was in the anime club, and it was, it was nostalgia for sure. And so he has his.
I think you're skipping ahead.
Am I?
We left off with Ryoma and Shogo waiting to apologize to Izumi outside.
Oh, yeah. I was about to go there.
Okay.
So he's in his manga room, right?
I was just checking. He had just arrived at school from home.
Yeah.
He hadn't been to his club yet.
Okay, but anyways, then he just wants to go to his manga room.
Yeah, he's wanting to go to his manga club.
I was trying to kind of skip ahead to make it go faster.
I just wanted to make sure you were still on track.
No, I was just going to say how pretty much what's the guy's name? The player. Well, the
player.
The
brother.
No.
Ryoma.
Him.
Ryoma.
Yeah, Ryoma starts apologizing in front of all of his classmates and friends in the manga club. So he pretty much doesn't want him to make a scene so he can.
Because Izumi is like super shy and introverted. He doesn't like
so he
attention
just
being drawn to himself.
So he just lies and says, "Join the club," and then he drags him along and says that he wants to be a member. He wants. You are skipping ahead.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay, so, we enter volume 2 with Ryoma and Shogo waiting outside of Izumi's school, so Ryoma can apologize to Izumi for the blatant assault that happened. Izumi sees Ryoma, immediately runs the other way, and Ryoma chases after him. Shogo can't follow because he gets mauled by fans, and Ryoma eventually corners Izumi in an alleyway, and Izumi is like, holy shit, I'm gonna get assaulted again, which is a reasonable thought because that's what happened last time. But instead, Ryoma drops down to his hands and knees and apologizes instead, promising he's not going to do anything. He's just here to apologize. He just wants him to hear him out. So, you skipped ahead quite a bit. Yeah, you skipped ahead like a whole chapter. He's bowing repeatedly on the floor, and it is drawing a crowd because people are like, is that the famous Ryoma Ichijo? Like, bowing on his, are they doing a show? Like, what's happening? Izumi gets flustered because, like we just said, he doesn't like being the center of attention. He doesn't want people looking at him. So he's like, all right, fine, just get up, stop, I'll listen to you, fine. And Ryoma sits straight up, and he's about to explain himself, or at least try to Izumi, when he finds he can't because he's too distracted, because this is his first time, well, actually, I guess only his second time seeing Izumi in his full-on, like, this is who he is every day, rather than the beautiful woman that he was in love with. He's just, like, in his baggy pants and his baggy shirt, and his hair is, like, all up in his face, and he's got his glasses on, and he's like, I guess this is the nerd that I'm in love with. Can I get you ready first before I say what I need to say? So he drags, I'm trying to go faster. He quickly drags Izumi to, I'm not in your face.
You know my face.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So he takes Izumi. Izumi's like, yeah, I guess, whatever that means. He gets Izumi's hair trimmed so his bangs are no longer so in his face. He takes Izumi to get some more flattering clothing that fit him a little better and that make him look extra cute. Yeah, he gets him like this cute little shirt with a little vest and then a little tie, and he's super adorable. And then all that's left is that makes him so that he's used to interacting with Izumi is he takes off his glasses because it's those eyes that he's always been in love with because of that marble. So he takes off his glasses and he promises he'll give them back after he stops talking. So that's when Rihanna starts explaining.
Which I hated that part.
What?
He takes his glasses away.
Well, but you gotta understand, like, that's like how he's remembered Izumi all this time was because of his extremely striking eye color.
You can still see people's eyes.
Not in anime, you can't. They always have the like white film over their eyes.
Anyways, I just didn't like that. I didn't like that whole part.
Izumi definitely looks cute with his glasses, but
Yeah.
Rihanna is used to seeing him without his glasses, so he takes them. He promises to give them back though. So Rihanna starts explaining from the very beginning, first of all, where his initial insults came from when he first discovered Izumi was a boy, that he was not born into a famous family. He had to claw his way to the top of the industry from the bottom up, and how hard that was, and how that kind of ended up making him have this irrational hatred for people that were just like seemingly handed fame because they were born to famous parents.
Yeah.
And then he gets a little more, then he explains that, like, Izumi, he was so certain was a girl whenever they first met. And he carried that torch for 10 years. Every time he had an issue or felt like giving up on clawing his way through the industry, because it's a rough industry, every time he felt like quitting or giving up, he would just look at his marble, and that marble would remind him of Izumi's eyes because they looked exactly the same, and it would give him the strength to keep pushing through and persevering in the hopes that he would see that girl again someday.
10 years later.
And then sadly, 10 years later, he finds out Izumi's a boy, and he doesn't know what to do with that, obviously. He handles it very poorly. He cries when he mentions, obviously, what happened after that, because he does feel bad about it. He definitely genuinely feels bad about it. It still like wasn't okay, but at least he knows it wasn't okay. So he ends up coming to terms with the fact that he's carried these feelings with him for over 10 years now. Gender alone is not going to be enough to dissuade him from his infatuation and his love for Izumi. So he's just had to accept that, girl or guy, he's still in love with Izumi. And
so cute.
That's like the cutest fucking thing.
Yeah, he's like, sex doesn't matter.
Like, it's those golden moments that like kind of bring you back from where you are, because like that's so rare in anything, really. Like, people don't really talk about those kind of like issues and feelings. So the fact that this one does, it's just like,
yeah.
So he confesses that even though he now knows that Izumi is a guy, he's still 100% in love with him. And Izumi still doesn't return those feelings, obviously. Izumi still just kind of knows Ryoma as this guy you've been forced to act with twice now, and the guy that almost assaulted you. So he definitely doesn't return those feelings, but Ryoma totally understands that. He's like, listen, I don't expect you to understand or much less return my feelings. I just don't want you to hate me for the mistake I made.
Yeah.
So he's like, can we at least just be friends? And Izumi does feel bad for Ryoma because it is a very unfortunate situation he found himself in, thinking that for 10 years there was this girl out there waiting for him.
Yeah, so even though like all this bad stuff happened to him, he kind of feels obligated.
He kind of he feels slightly obligated because like those built up feelings weren't Ryoma's fault.
Yeah.
And also since
he kind of feels
then
responsible because
the day they've had as well.
Because he didn't know, and then
yeah, and
he
didn't tell Ryoma at any point either.
He the one that he's in the dress, so.
And then also like the day they've spent together so far, Ryoma has made it very clear that he does regret what he did. So he decides, like, even though he obviously isn't big on making friends with strangers, that they can at least be, and you wanted to make sure I said this right.
Email
pals.
They said email in the thing.
They said email
funny.
in the manga.
I thought it was hilarious.
It's definitely supposed to be texting buddies, but they said email.
It's funny.
So Love Stage seems really interesting. It seems like it has an anime. It does have an anime.
Yeah.
I actually prefer
It's
the
actually
anime.
on sale right now. Love Stage anime is on sale on Right Stuff.
Well, there's that. And then I personally have a Verve subscription, and I know that it is available both subbed and dubbed on Verve.
Yeah.
So you can find the anime very easily. Actually, we're technically covering the whole anime in the stream because the anime only covers volumes 1 through 3.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, fun fact. The anime only covers volumes 1 through 3. So if you watch this whole stream through, spoiler warning, you're gonna hear all of what happens in the anime and then some, because the anime does cut a few things out, as well as add a few things in. But no, Love Stage is my favorite Yaoi. I highly recommend it. It is.
Yeah, right now, for the birthday sale, it is going for $23.98. Originally $68. So $23 is not bad at all.
Originally 68. 70 $70 before shipping and handling. That's
and it's free.
good.
It's free shipping at Right Stuff if you spend $50 more.
So you could get Love Stage twice and get free shipping. Get it for you and get it for a friend, or just get something else.
Get Gravitation.
Or get Love Stage and Gravitation.
Gravitation is on sale for $19.99. The Blu-ray.
But yeah,
I recommend too.
Highly recommend Love Stage reading and watching. I kind of still the anime holds a special place in my heart.
Love Stage manga is 7 volumes,
and the anime only covers the first 3, but the anime itself is 10
what's the spin-off
episodes.
that you're talking about? Love what?
Backstage. Love Stage has a spin-off series covering the 2 side characters of the manager Rie. I keep mixing up Ryoma and Rei's names. I slurred them together. There is a spin-off called Backstage that features the 2 side characters of the manager Rei and the big brother Shogo and their romance together, because they are also dating. We just don't get we get a few hints of that in Love Stage, but nothing major.
That's Love Stage, right?
You put stage before back. Why'd you do that?
That's how it did that on my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Backstage with 3 exclamation marks. I think. Maybe just 1. Hold on. Wait.
Love Stage. They don't have it. Let me look on Amazon. Are you sure?
Try making it 1 word. It's definitely called Backstage.
Are you sure?
I'm 110% sure.
Translated into English?
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, Backstage Prince.
Backstage. No, it's not Backstage Prince.
You got to take
That is not it. I'm pretty sure it's available somewhere though. I've never read Backstage personally. I've just heard of it. But yeah, I highly recommend. It's hilarious too. Like that's like one of my favorite things about it is so funny and it is so sweet. It just gives you like all those good feelings every time you watch it. The anime, I was actually comfortable enough showing to a friend who had never watched a Yaoi or Yaoi before.
There it is.
Yep, there it is, Backstage.
How many volumes is 2?
I guess so. But yeah, see, there's Ran Shogo.
Oh wow. I don't believe you at all.
I know you didn't, but it's true. I would never lie to you, boo. But yeah, it is a very funny series. It is very sweet. I think it is very wholesome. Obviously, it does have its flaws. Like, nothing's gonna be perfect, but definitely my favorite. So,
what else happens in Volume 2? Let's wrap up Volume 2.
Volume 2. So, where were we? Yeah. So, girl or guy, he still loves Izumi. Izumi doesn't return his feelings, but he does still feel kind of bad for the situation Ryoma's in. So he agrees to at least be texting buddies with him, and they exchange phone numbers.
It's only in Germany. It wasn't translated into English.
What?
Right there.
Oh, that's dumb. I'm sorry. I thought it was. They mention it in these, so you would think.
Maybe they were going to translate it, and then it never happened.
So dumb.
It's translated in German, if you can read German or Japanese, I guess.
Well, because they call out specifically at the end in an editor's note. They're like, if you're surprised to see Rei and Shogo acting all lovey-dovey, yeah, Rei Sagara stars in his own novel series called Backstage from Ruby Bungo. Check it out. And that's in Volume 1. You'd think we would have access to it. Anyhow, wrapping up Volume 2.
I might still get it.
You just want to fill your shelf. What am I talking about? So, they exchange numbers, and Ryoma immediately starts displaying like his super obvious puppy love that he's developed for Izumi. He's texting him constantly. So Izumi the next day is on his way to his manga club. This is what you were talking about earlier. Do you want to go ahead and pick up where you left off?
Yes. So this is like my favorite part ever in the manga. I loved it. Pretty much he is in his manga club, and so this is where he apologizes a lot because he
apologizes a lot in general, but he does apologize. He sends him 27 text messages starting at 4:30 a.m. Just emails, just telling him what he's doing, not even really trying to have a conversation, just kind of narrating his day.
Which you would hate, but I would love.
I'm with Izumi on that one. Izumi is very annoyed, and I would be too.
I would love it.
Apparently, Bizarre would love it. But Ryoma has been texting Izumi all day long, and Izumi fell asleep in class, and his phone was going off the entire time. He's finally looking through all the messages that Ryoma sent him, and he sees that the last few are him getting off work and asking Izumi where he is, if he's nearby, maybe. I don't know. And then the last two say, never mind, I found out where you'll be. And the very last one is, I'm here. So Izumi dashes to his manga club to find Ryoma. They're waiting for him. Kind of disguised. In this manga, disguises are just wearing glasses. So he's wearing glasses, and then he's just in his normal attire. Izumi doesn't want him there, so he immediately drags him out. And that's when he's like, what the fuck are you doing here, and how did you find me? Ryoma tells him that all he did was ask Rei where he would be, because Rei had given him his business card the first time they met. He just asked Rei where he would be, and Rei definitely told him. And that's how he found out where he would be. And Izumi, yay, emo buds! Yes, that is exactly what Ryoma said too. So Izumi's annoyed that he's there because Izumi doesn't really like him still at this point, which is fair. But Ryoma's trying his best to be friends, and Izumi tells him that he needs to leave because Like, you're not even going to the school. You don't know anything about manga. Like, we're not even really friends. We're just supposed to be texting buddies. You shouldn't be showing up to my club. That's when I feel like I should wait for Bizarre for this part because he was so excited to tell it. Boo, come back!
Can you get the door open?
The building's old, sorry. So I've got you cut up onto Ryoma showed up at the manga club.
That's why you see that.
I wanted you to tell it because you were so excited.
Oh.
No, they're not. I'm never gonna run out of candy.
I might just buy you when you're done, just so we can have something to sit on.
Okay.
Next one, you come into my house.
Sounds good.
So
So go ahead and tell it. He showed up at his manga club.
you're not gonna see me in the frame. Take a look at my Pokemon chart. Can you? There we go.
I'll just sit up extra straight.
Sit on the pillow or something.
Go ahead and tell.
So, anyways, so he shows up on the manga club. Does he show up to apologize, or does he just want to see him?
He just wants to see him.
Yeah.
He says he's in the area.
The area, like the old cliche, like
I'm nearby.
just
I
gonna
found
stop
out where you'll be.
and see you. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so then he kind of gets upset with him.
Izumi's definitely upset with him.
Yeah, and so he apologizes, and he's like, "Okay, whatever, just stop apologizing." So then he lies.
He does the thing where he gets down on his hands and knees and causes a scene,
So
which
then
Izumi still doesn't like.
He lies to his friends and says that he wants to join because he still doesn't want his. He's still in the closet, obviously. He doesn't want his friends knowing that he.
Neither of them still. Well, Izumi definitely at this point still doesn't think he's gay because he still thinks Ryoma's annoying. Ryoma's accepted that he's at least turned gay. Thank you.
And yeah, so he's like, "Oh, well, we have a new member. He wants to look and."
He's my distant cousin Rio.
Yeah, he's going to sit in and watch this because he says he's interested in manga and anime.
He's never read manga or watched anime in his entire life, mind you.
Make this stream even longer. So, after I graduated high school, I still wanted to be part of the manga and anime club, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
gonna fiddle with this just a bit.
Which now it would have been freaking awful, but I used someone else's name. I used one of my friends' friend name so I could sneak into the school after I graduated.
For real?
And still go to the manga club. Yes. Yeah. It was awful.
That's kind of funny because I kind of had an opposite thing happen where I joined the manga club of a high school I wasn't even going to because I was in middle school.
Yeah. Did you use someone else's name?
No. I
How did
just
you
started
get
showing up.
How did you
There wasn't a teacher there to mediate it. It was just like a senior.
Yeah, like there wasn't a teacher in the room.
Yeah.
But you had to like clock in. Because there was like an after school thing.
It wasn't like that at mine. No. It was just like you show up.
Yeah. I just used someone else's name and that went to that school and it popped up in the computer. And I just walked right in. And then
That's hilarious.
which I mean, it sounds kind of creepy, but then again, it was the year that I graduated, so it was like I was just 1 year old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't really that weird.
Well, because in that same club that I joined when I wasn't even going to that school, because that was a high school club and I was in middle school, we also had people that had since then graduated that came by still.
Yeah.
We just didn't care.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't even go that for that long because it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Because they were more like, let's learn how to draw eyes. You know, like it was like that.
I love drawing eyes.
But
That's
like,
my favorite thing to draw.
well, yeah, but it's boring. Like seeing someone like.
Yeah, if you're there for the manga and all you do is draw.
Yeah, and then, but I did get a nickname in the manga club.
Did you?
Froggy, and it's after Sergeant Frog.
What?
Have you ever heard that manga?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Neither have I, but they started calling me Froggy.
Why? All right.
So I decorated my book bag like frogs, and there's like a light up frog on it.
You fucking owned it.
Yeah, and it was ribbit. Yeah, I had it. So now I kind of want Subject Frog just because of that. But
Get back on the topic though.
we're still in the manga room.
Yeah, I know. So Izumi doesn't want him there, but he's gonna be there. He caused a scene apologizing for being a nuisance. Yeah, I responded to that already. That's exactly what Ryoma's reaction was, is what I said. Lost my train of thought. Got it back. All right. He's like, this is... Thank you. This is my cousin Rio. He's a total shut-in, which is why he's never come in before, but he wanted to see a manga club just once, so he's going to sit in with us. Is that okay? Everyone's like, yeah, fucking whatever. Who cares? Izumi starts working on his manga, and Ryoma's like, I have no idea what's happening. Are you guys going to start club activities anytime soon? And Izumi's like, we've already fucking started. Pardon you.
I didn't get that one at all. Like, why would it be so offended? Like, it was weird. It's like, get over yourself.
Because he didn't want him to be there in the first place. And not only
I still
that.
thought he was kind of a brat.
Well, he is a brat. He's a spoiled rich kid brat. That's the point. Man, I love Twizzlers. Aren't they great?
She always has like a big bag here, and I always like eat
This
it
is the
anyway.
same bag. It's not that I always have a bag. It's just
It's the
that
same.
I have a big bag.
I swear I ate like the whole thing last time too, so it's weird that
No.
I feel like
You definitely didn't.
I feel
We
like-
ate quite a few, but you definitely
I feel
didn't
like
eat the whole
multiple
bag.
times.
Twizzlers are great though. But yeah, so Izumi's definitely a brat. That's kind of part of his character. He's been spoiled his entire life, being born into such a rich family. He tells Ryoma that like drawing and reading manga are the club activities, and that's when Ryoma's like, "You're drawing a manga, Izumi? Like that's so cool."
Oh, this is So this is one of the reasons why I love this plot so much.
It's super wholesome.
Even though he does, name.
Ryoma, Izumi.
Damn it.
Izumi's the blonde one. Ryoma's the.
Ryoma. Ryoma, even though he knows really nothing about manga, he probably just knows that it's a comic book. That's from Japan. That's probably his extent knowledge.
Nerdy shit
Yeah,
to him, probably.
Nerdy shit to him. He wants to know more about what blah 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 is drawing.
Yeah, Izumi. Like
Izumi's drawing.
He wants to be. Yeah, he wants to share Izumi's interests.
Yeah, and he like genuinely cares and wants him to like show him his manga because he has feelings for him. I think that was so cute.
He is so cute. The whole thing's so fucking cute.
It was so
Izumi.
cool.
No one's ever been interested in Izumi's drawings because they're so terrible.
Mhm.
But Ryoma showed interest, so Izumi immediately gets all like, "Oh, well, I guess if you really want to, I'll totally show it to you." Shows him his manga. Izumi's terrible, so it's bad. Ryoma like opens it,
But
has no idea what the fuck he's looking at.
it's funny though because he's like in his head he's like, maybe it's just an art style that
Yeah,
I
he's like,
understand.
Maybe he's going for some kind of Picasso art style, like
was
something really
so-
abstract.
Yeah, it was so funny. I loved it.
It's a
so
great
much.
moment.
Mhm.
Just goes to show the wholesomeness that is
Yeah,
in
It definitely
Ryoma.
shows like a bonding moment. It shows character growth.
Yes.
It shows plot growth. It just
It shows the best things of the entire series, to be honest. So, he has no idea what the fuck he's looking at. He looks at it and he's like, what the fuck is this? It's Thank you. But he goes,
I want to fight.
our stream's been going for 2 hours. We need to get to it.
The other one is going on about 20 million things.
Oh my god, only because you haven't been like keeping me on track.
Keep going.
I'm the only expert here. So He, despite not understanding what he's looking at, tells Izumi that it looks really artsy, and he can obviously see that he put a lot of work and passion into it, so he really likes it. And that's the first compliment Izumi's ever gotten on his artwork in general. And that is when Izumi decides, you know what? There's no way Ryoma can be a bad guy. So to reference my notes again, because I'm forgetting. Oh boy. Okay. So, Izumi is still drawing that comic for the competition that the Lala Lulu creator will be judging. And after they end their club, Ryoma actually gets a text saying he has to leave. But Izumi is now more determined than ever to finish his manga, now knowing that Ryoma likes it. Or at least he said he did.
He does.
He definitely does. Because Izumi made it. And he put all his work into it. So cute. So fucking cute. So Izumi goes home, but he quickly realizes he is not going to have enough time to finish his manga on time to meet the deadline. So he needs help. He texts all of his manga club members to ask them for help. Kuroi is unfortunately busy with work, and the other two are kind of just assholes.
One pretty much says no, and then the other, which I liked, like he said it straight up. And then the other one was like, how much are you going to pay me? I charge a lot.
Yeah, that one was an asshole.
Yeah, that one was an asshole.
Yeah, Kuroi is the one who was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm already busy because he has work. The second one was like, man, like, fuck no, I got my own shit to do. Mm-hmm. And the third one was like, how much you going to pay me?
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
So none of his friends were willing to help him. That's when he gets a text from Ryoma saying, woohoo, I'm going to be off tomorrow. Woo, woo.
Let's hang out and have fun.
We're not there yet. And that is when Izumi, realizing that Ryoma is his last hope for finishing his passion project on time, begs him to come over when he's done to help. So at
next volume.
At about 3 a.m., Ryoma gets off work.
No, I didn't realize it was that late.
Yeah. I took note of the timestamps so people can realize how far out of Ryoma's way he's going to help Izumi, because it's so cute. Ryoma gets off work at 3 a.m. That is when he gets to Izumi's house to help him with his manga. Ryoma has this cute little moment of being super nervous to see inside of Izumi's room for the first time, just to realize that it's full of La Lulu posters and figures and books. But just like he did with the manga, he makes the best of it, tries his best to understand, and I believe the exact comment he made was, I should have guessed an artist's room was going to be so unique.
So he sees the good in it.
Yeah. So
he doesn't make it out to be a weird thing. Being obsessed.
Like everybody else seems to do with Izumi's hobby. Okay. So they bunker down. They spend 2 whole nights working on Izumi's manga, and they finish it.
Mm-hmm. Was it 2 nights?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. 2 straight all-nighters working on it. Oh my god, my cat's there. Oh, hold on. You okay, baby?
Sorry.
He's like, what the fuck?
He's not used to this thing. That's busy.
No.
Okay. Well, why did I do that in the first place?
I don't know. I kind of forgot it could, to be honest. Oh, he doesn't care. He's like, whatever. As long as you don't move the side I'm on, we good. Oh, and he just rolled off. So yeah. They spend 2 whole nights working on Izumi's manga, and they finish it.
Which I did not realize it was 2 nights. That's crazy.
Yeah, 2 whole nights.
Like, well,
No sleep.
Pretty much, he drew it all. They just need to like ink.
Yeah,
Which
Izumi
still
had drawn it
takes,
all.
like, a shit ton.
Yeah. Izumi had already drawn the whole thing. He needed Ryoma to help do the inking and to fill in all the black shading and all that, and the screen tones and all that. So
Didn't sleep for 2 days. Right.
yeah, Ryoma is called back into work. He leaves. Well, after they finish the manga, Izumi immediately passes out to the floor. Ryoma's like worried that he like passed out from a sickness, but no, he was just exhausted from not sleeping for 2 days.
Understandable.
Yeah. So Ryoma goes to I believe he tries to steal a kiss at this point since Izumi's asleep. He steals a quick little peck on Izumi's lips, and then he does like this adorable little fangirl moment where he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that."
Which was super cute and adorable.
Super cute. And then he gets a text from.
Oh my god, that one.
That wasn't a Maximilian, unfortunately. He gets a text from his manager saying he needs to come back to work. So Ryoma has to leave a note for Izumi explaining his absence, as he will not be there when he wakes up. As Ryoma's leaving, that's when Rei catches him walking out the door, and Rei did not know that Ryoma was there. Rei immediately catches on to what happened. He's like, that bratty fucking kid did not just ask the incredibly busy and famous Ryoma Ichijo to stay up with him to make his shitty fucking manga that he sucks at.
But he did.
But he did. But it's over. It's done with. That is when Ryoma finds out that his boss wanted to see him, because whenever they had their first talk with Izumi where he officially apologized, that van that had been there was a paparazzi van, and they had taken a picture of Izumi and Ryoma, and while Izumi wasn't dressed as a girl at the time, Izumi could very easily pass for a girl in that photo, just kind of rocking the short hair and just not particularly endowed in the top half. So the press, if they get a hold of that, are going to go insane because Ryoma's like top selling point is that he's a bachelor and he's very attractive to women. So if he has a girlfriend, that's kind of really going to hurt his ratings. So that's when his boss is like, what the fuck is this and who the fuck is she? And Ryoma's about to tell him, but then he realizes, oh, well, Izumi's like not even really in the industry. I don't like, he's only ever appeared as a girl. I don't know if it's even okay for me to reveal that Izumi's a guy. So he calls Rei, Izumi's second mom.
Which I liked because that
manager.
means he's really respectful.
Yes. So he made his one big fuck up, but ever since then, like he's
been
just
such a
on the
gentleman.
ball.
He's been such a good gentleman.
He is entirely respectful, genuine, wholesome, like super
Yes.
sweet, considerate, everything you could want. So he calls Rei to make sure that like he's not telling his boss anything he shouldn't. And Rei immediately like has a plan because Rei still wants Izumi to be in the industry. So Rei goes over there personally to work out a deal with his manager, saying that let the press release the photo. Let them speculate that Ryoma is dating this girl, and we will then hold a big press conference. And at this press conference, a lot of people are probably going to assume it's like a wedding announcement or like a dating announcement.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is we are going to totally overshadow that potential relationship that they're speculating over, and we're going to make Izumi take his debut into the celebrity world.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh yeah. So the next day, Rei tells Izumi this is the plan. But Izumi is on his way out to submit his manga because remember his dream is not to be a celebrity, it's to be a manga artist. So Izumi is on his way to deliver his manga to the contest, and he's like so confident in it. Like he poured his heart and his soul into it. He even got Roma to help him with it. Like so much work went into this. This is magnum opus. He's so sure that he's got this victory in the bag. Rei, ever the blunt mom that he is, tells him there's no fucking way that shit's gonna win. Which hurts Izumi's feelings. They make a deal because Izumi doesn't want to do the press conference and Rei doesn't want to submit that manga. He says if Izumi's manga gets even one good review, then he will never try to make Izumi a celebrity again. But however, if it doesn't, then Izumi must make his celebrity debut. Izumi accepts the challenge because he is so confident in all the work that him and Ryoma both put into his manga. And he leaves to go submit it. When he gets there, he's like super excited. He's like full of energy. And he's like, yeah, this is going to be it. This is my big break as a manga artist. And the guy reviewing his manga totally shatters his hopes and dreams. He says, kid, are you kidding me?
It was more of like
you have no talent for this at all.
He was like, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
You suck.
You have no talent for this.
You need to find a new profession. You're never gonna make it. You're awful.
He absolutely crushes Izumi's dreams.
Yeah.
Izumi is obviously very depressed now. He's not going home because he still doesn't want to be in the industry, and he knows Rei's just going to be like, well, I told you so. So Izumi gets very depressed, and he wanders around through town. He falls into a pile of garbage along the way before making his way to Ryoma's house. He texts Rei that he will not be coming home before immediately shutting off his phone. Rei is not happy about this. He calls him several times. Obviously, he's not answering. He turned his phone off. He fucking meant it. Rei calls Ryoma to let him know that Izumi has gone AWOL. And Ryoma is just about to leave to go look for Izumi because he's obviously worried when Izumi shows up at his house. Izumi doesn't really have any friends. He has nowhere else to go. So he went to Ryoma's. And Ryoma's like obviously happy to see him. Because he's like, oh my god, my crush is here. Obviously something's wrong with Izumi. He's like really downcast. He's very off. He's not like, he's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. What are you doing?
Going live on Facebook.
Oh wow, go live on all the things.
I didn't mean to do that.
Streamception. So he tries to ask Izumi what's wrong. Izumi just kind of ignores him. Ryoma tells him, well, Rei just called. I should let him know you're here. Izumi begs him not to because Rei, again, will just give him that, haha, I told you so. Your shit's trash. Like, it was never going to get a good review. He doesn't tell Ryoma the details. Ryoma just obviously picks up on that he's sad about something. He notices Izumi smells really bad because he fell into a pile of garbage. And immediately, like, I feel like this is important for context. This might be too detailed, but Ryoma has like this 2-room bathroom where it's like you go through this door and then there's like the sink and the toilet, and then you go through another door and that's where the bathroom is. So Ryoma shoves Izumi into like the bathtub room and tells him to leave his clothes outside that door so he can take them and then wash them, and then he will leave him by that same door a pile of clean clothes. And Izumi is just like, yeah, okay, whatever, because he's still like super depressed. So he gets in the bath. Ryoma wants to ask him what's wrong, but he's not really talking to him. And Oh boy, we're only in volume 2. We're like at least halfway done.
Is volume 2 finished?
Almost. I'm almost there. So,
Let's do volume 3 next week.
you want to do 3 next time? Okay. Okay. So, Izumi is in the bath, and Ryoma does what he says. He takes his clothes, puts them in the wash, and then he lets Izumi know, hey, Izumi, I have your clothes. They're going to be waiting here on the sink, just so you know. Like, he's not doing anything weird. He's being very respectful, just getting him clean clothes. You want to take a picture? Oh, God, what the fuck was that? You just fucking blinded me. That's an awful picture.
It's just,
Ryoma brings him his clothes, tells him they're there, but Izumi doesn't respond. So Ryoma gets very nervous that something may have happened while he was in the bath. And it's a good thing he did in this case, because he bursts in and Izumi has fallen asleep in the bathtub and is now he's sinking below the water and is drowning unconsciously. So Ryoma like lifts him up from under his arms just so he can like breathe again, which wakes up Izumi, and Izumi's immediately just like, were you peeping on me?
he liked it.
And he's like, no, actually, I wasn't. I was saving your fucking life. And he's like, oh. Then Izumi decides that he's still kind of half asleep at this point. Izumi does some kind of like weird things. Kind of inconsiderate things from Ryoma's perspective, because he knows Ryoma's in love with him, but he doesn't seem to be caring about that at all.
Right.
Yeah, so he stands directly up out of the bath while Ryoma is standing right there, so Ryoma sees full-blown naked Izumi. And he gets a comical fucking nosebleed, as we always get in anime when someone sees someone attractive. Izumi then walks directly past the clothes that Ryoma had laid out for him, which he had laid out for him at least a shirt and pants and a towel. Izumi apparently walked past those and just put on one of Ryoma's big button-up shirts, and then comes back into the bathroom asking Ryoma where his underwear are, because Ryoma threw all his clothes in the wash. They're not there. And Ryoma gets another nosebleed because now he's rocking the boyfriend shirt trope, and he's also just revealed that he's not wearing any underwear.
Pants. So you see butt.
Well, no, the shirt was long enough to.
You still could see it.
Well, yeah, later in the bonus episode when he's like curled up, but when he's standing, he's
You can
covered.
see it.
So, Ryoma's trying really hard to keep it together because he doesn't want a repeat of the first mistake he made. Like, he's trying so hard to be respectful, but Izumi is making it really hard for him, like knowing how he feels about him. Ryoma apologizes that his underwear are in the wash. None of his will fit him because he's such a small boy compared to him. He says he'll go out and buy some like right now. And Izumi is just like, oh, what? Like now? Never mind. I'm just going to bed. And then he just takes Ryoma's fucking bed. Just takes the whole thing for himself and goes to sleep, which Ryoma doesn't mind, but that's just another demonstration of Izumi being a brat.
And then him being the other guy being a gentleman.
Yeah. Because Ryoma obviously doesn't mind. Ryoma's just happy that Izumi's there.
Yeah.
And Izumi goes to sleep, and Ryoma's trying so hard to keep it together because he's like, the guy I've been in love with for 10 years is in my apartment. He's not wearing underwear. And he's totally passed out. But I'm not gonna be that guy. And this was one of my favorite parts is he just like sits down like by the side of the bed, shivering and quaking, and it just says, "What kind of hell is this?"
He's like being so tempted.
Because it's like the devil's fruit is hanging right in front of him, and he's just like,
Oh my god.
"I
Hilarious.
can't fucking do it."
That's ridiculous.
But obviously, Ryoma doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
They wake up the next day. Ryoma cooks both of them breakfast because he's
So
sweet
cute.
like that. And he wakes Izumi up, giving him a cup of coffee to help him perk up, and then finally asks him, like, "Hey, do you finally want to tell me maybe like what's wrong?" And Izumi tells him, "Oh, hello, Flip Otaku. Welcome to the stream." We're nearing the end,
Where's
probably.
the cover? Show me the cover.
Oh, yes. So we are reviewing Love Stage, and we are currently on
Volume
Volume 2.
2.
So if you missed anything, we've already been going for 2.5 hours, so I don't really want to repeat, but feel free. This will be on YouTube, on Bizarre's channel, so feel free to check back for anything that you may have missed, because Boo does need to get to bed, I think.
To be honest.
So, Izumi and Ryoma are finally talking about like what had Izumi so upset in the first place. He tells him how he submitted his manga that they made together that they worked so hard on, and then that guy just totally shit on it. Like, what a shitty guy.
I thought he was honest.
But like, you could have been more like. But as an artist, I would have never heard of it. But I'm sure Michael. Oh, he's so far. What's your rating?
4.5.
4.5 out of 5. So he's definitely.
I've only read the first 3 volumes.
Barely even those. We just kind of had to skim you through the last 2. But it's my personal favorite manga and anime that are both yaoi.
So far, it's not my favorite yaoi though.
Well, Gravitation has a very special place in your heart. I never expected Love Stage to replace
And
it.
I like Dick's Escape Journey a little bit better.
I've never heard of that one. So
Ironically, it's by the same people that did Bitch Club. So
that's hilarious.
That's
The one
why
that
I
you did not
watched.
like.
Well, that's why I like it so much. Because it has the same manga.
It all makes sense now.
I don't like it. Anyways.
But yeah, so they're finally talking about it. Izumi tells him how that, because like as I was saying, like as an artist, if I had gotten that submission, I would have looked at that and been like, this was obviously his first try.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to continue. I want him to get better. I'm not going to shatter his hopes and dreams into a million pieces right here.
Yeah. Maybe he was just trying to be brutally honest.
He was brutally honest, but like, that was rude.
Maybe that was his way of like, I don't know. I just felt like he was just.
We obviously feel differently for quite a few scenes in this manga so far.
Like his brother.
Mostly that one, which I still think you're being creepy. So that's when Ryoma's like, hey, you know, like, I've been through that too. Like, that was me trying to get into the fucking industry. Like, I had to fucking beg on my hands and knees to even get a job. Like, people told me over and over that I was never going to be able to do anything, but I kept fucking trying. So, like, you got to keep trying too.
Very encouraging. Yes.
Like, being the best boy. So Izumi's like, I can't get past it. And Ryoma's like, okay, well, like, I'll cut a deal with you. You can stay in my apartment for as long as it takes you to get past this little road bump you've hit. You just gotta promise me that you're going to call your fucking family and tell them where you are, because they have been worried sick. And I can't do it because you asked me not to. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
Izumi refuses. He says, I'm never going back home. I'm just going to stay here and live with you forever. that's when Ryoma kind of is like, all right, no, like, I gotta crack down on you a little bit. Like, come on, man. Because, like, Izumi being there is kind of like torture for him. Because he's so, like, hopelessly in love with him. And Izumi is so not. He has to, like, restrain all these feelings every time they're together. He can't just stay there forever like that. That would be awful. Yeah. And so he like yanks the covers off of Izumi and he's like, are you like fucking crazy? I think you're forgetting that I'm like kind of in love with you and like I already made a mistake once. Like, I'm not so great a guy that I can keep this up like the whole fucking time. Like, I'm gonna snap eventually. I don't want to, but like it's gonna happen if you stay here. And that's when Izumi does something kind of weird. Izumi, in his like little temper tantrum, decides that during like, even though he still isn't interested in Ryoma, he decides that letting Ryoma do whatever he wants would be better than going home and facing his manager. Yeah, and facing his manager being like, I told you your shit would suck. So he tells Ryoma he can he can do whatever he wants. And Ryoma's like, well, okay. And he starts doing what they did before, going a little farther because Shogo's not there to stop him this time, but they still don't go all the way since Ryoma notices that Izumi's still crying through this. Like, he obviously still doesn't really want this. And that kind of like really hurts Ryoma's feelings because Ryoma doesn't just want like Izumi that way. Like, he wants Izumi to love him. Like, he wants them to be in love. And Izumi is just kind of like, yeah, whatever, have my body, but I still don't care about you. And so Ryoma stops dead in his tracks. They don't go all the way. They go kind of far, but they don't go all the way. Like, as soon as he notices, he backs the fuck up and he says, like, no, this isn't right. I'm not gonna fucking do this. Even though he did say he wasn't gonna stop this time, he's still not a terrible person. So he does stop. Yeah. And he storms out telling Izumi to stop mocking his feelings for him, because the kind of, from his perspective, is probably what it seems like he's been doing. Yeah. Just kind of taking advantage of how much he loves him, just letting him stay there so he can pout and be spoiled. Izumi doesn't quite get it at first. He kind of just thinks Ryoma's being like really weird, and he's like, I thought that's what he fucking wanted. What's up with him? Well, fine, I'm just going back to sleep. But he does take note that Ryoma did look genuinely like hurt and upset as he stormed off. Ryoma has to leave for work. He leaves Izumi a note telling him that his breakfast is in the fridge and that his clothes are now dry and that he will be home later. Izumi wakes up and he sees the note and he eats and he gets dressed, and that's when he realizes he has the revelation of, wow, I've kind of really been a dick. Yeah, I literally just came over, barged in because I was in a fucking mood. I imposed myself on this guy because he had a crush on me, and I haven't been considerate to his feelings at all this entire time. Yeah, I've been awful. So that's when Izumi decides, you know what, I gotta fucking grow up and I'm gonna fucking turn on my phone and I'm gonna go home. So he eats his breakfast, he gets dressed, and he turns his phone back on. He has, I do want to take note because it was pretty funny, he has, how many missed texts from Ray? He has... So Izumi finally turns his phone back on to realize he has 20 missed calls, which is the maximum recordable, and 146 texts from Ray.
The span of one night?
Yes.
Wow.
So
Well, does his brother call him any, or just Ray?
Ray, his brother is actually like touring, so he doesn't know. Ray was trying to get Izumi back before his brother got back because he knew his brother would make a whole fucking scene about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Izumi is immediately like, oh my god, Ray's gonna be so fucking mad at me. I've been away from home for so fucking long. He's gonna come back and say, I fucking told you so, my manga failed, whatever. But then he's reading through all the text and it's literally just Ray being like, Izumi, are you okay? Like, please tell me you found shelter for the night. Like, please tell me you have money to eat. Please tell me like you're gonna be okay. Like, please text me as soon as you can. Let me know you're safe. Like, he's worrying like a mom for him. And Izumi realizes that he's been a jerk to Ray too this whole time. Because Ray hasn't just been trying to push him into the industry just because he doesn't want to be. He's been trying to look out for him this whole time to make sure he has a future. Because obviously he's not great at manga. That probably wouldn't be a promising future for him. But the door for the industry is wide open since he's born into it. So, hello. Do you have TikTok? I don't. Hello, Jerly. Welcome to the stream.
No, no, TikTok.
Yeah, we don't have TikTok though. Sorry. So just as Izumi is about to leave for home, what are you doing?
Monkey ball.
Sure.
Monkey ball. You like monkey ball? Don't play monkey ball. Have you been acquainted with Rorschach, bro?
Huh?
Have you been acquainted with Rorschach?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Multiple times now.
Yeah.
Rorschach always snuggles up in between us when we do these streams.
No,
I'm literally we're almost through. We're almost through volume 2.
Okay.
So we're wrapping up. We are wrapping up. As Izumi has just decided that he is about to go home, that is when Ray finally gets home, because it turns out Izumi actually slept in pretty late. Ray has gone to work and since then come back, and he is carrying Izumi's manuscript, his manga that they wrote together. And do you want to take over this half, or do you just want me to continue? Because it was very wholesome. This is the most wholesome thing ever. So Ryoma took Izumi's manuscript with him when he left. And on his break, while he was at work, he visited the publisher that publishes Izumi's favorite manga, Lalalooloo, and begged on his hands and knees until he got to the actual creator and had him actually take a look at Izumi's manga and give it a review. He was like, please, just even 2 seconds, just write a sentence, anything, whatever you'll give me, I'll take it. He's just he's had his first failure, he's been rejected for the first time, and I just don't want him to give up. Just please, please, hands and knees, please. And he fucking got it done. So he hands Izumi his manuscript back, and he's like, of course, you have to go home, but please, look at this first. And he's like, it's my manga. And he flips it over, and he sees that the author of Lalalooloo has officially left him a review on the back of the envelope. And please turn that down. And has even drawn a cute little picture of Lalalooloo on the back of it saying, Lalalooloo is cheering for you, Tutu. Which is super sweet and super cute. This review is a lot more helpful. This review states that obviously the creator of the manga is still young and inexperienced and needs some more practice, but the heart and the passion are there, and if continued to be worked on, can improve. Izumi obviously starts crying because his hero has just brought his dreams back to life, and Ryoma's the one who helped him do that. This guy and his fucking extra commentary over here. Oh, I'm sure.
I'm just sweating from my eyes.
So my notes are all in disarray, which fucking sucks. They both go back.
Because there's music in the background.
Yeah, babe, can you like hold off for 2 seconds? We're almost
I'll
done.
turn it all the way down. Sorry.
Thank you. All right, so they decide that they will both go back to Izumi's house together to apologize to his family. Izumi, obviously, for leaving in the first place, and then Ryoma wants to apologize as well for not actually letting them know that Izumi was with him the whole time. As soon as Ray sees him, he gives him a good big ol' like, oh my god, I was so worried, and then immediately passes out. Ryoma tries to nonchalantly slip out while they are taking care of Ray. And that is when Izumi notices and follows him out because he does want to say thank you for everything that Ryoma has done for him this entire time. Because at this point, he's done quite a lot for them just being considered email pals. So Izumi tries to pay Ryoma the highest compliment he knows how to give, and he calls Ryoma like he says, "You're just like my big brother." So friend zoning Ryoma pretty hard right there.
But he doesn't take it.
Ryoma is obviously like, I mean, he does take it, like the actual art is of those words stabbing him through the chest. But he does turn to leave, but he actually decides, no, I'm not ending it on that note. He doubles back and he gives Izumi a little kiss and says, listen, like, I'm not your brother, okay? I'll see you later. Love you. And it's so cute. And then Izumi finds himself startled by the fact that, while that's not the first time at this point that Ryoma has kissed him, this is the first time that Ryoma kissing him has actually left him like blushing and heart beating really fast. And that is the end of volume 2. You need to change the title of this because we lied. It's not 1 through 3.
That's fine. We'll just go quickly through. Next time I want to make notes of each one.
So this one was mostly me talking because unfortunately Bazaar had another very busy week and he did not actually have time to read more than volumes 1 through half of 2. So I kind of took the steering wheel in this one because I have not only read volumes 1 through 3 multiple times, I have also seen the manga multiple times, or the anime multiple times, which covers all of volumes 1 through 3. So that is why I kind of took the reins in this one. But next week, surely Bazaar will have some time to read up and take notes. Oh, hello. Nutmeg cutes. Yes, family zoned. The worst, even worse than friend zoned. Yes. And Twix, oi, oi, oi. Hello. Welcome. I'm sorry you caught us as we are just wrapping up. But if you want to see what you missed, feel free to visit Bizarre Individuals channel on YouTube. We will be uploading the whole thing there. It should be up within
if they're watching this, they're already on it. They're already on my channel. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this should be fully uploaded here shortly, so you can recap what you missed. But yeah, so next time. Anyways, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, so next time, Bazaar will have surely read actually all of the volumes we plan on talking about. We will hit up volume 3, which is the conclusion to the anime as well. And then we do also have a few more fun things in store for you guys that we are still working on as well. So as always, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave comments. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know what we did good. Let us know if we did bad.
Maybe not on this one.
Maybe not on this one. Why?
What?
But yeah, just let us know your thoughts. Let us know if there's anything in particular you want to see us do.
And thanks for watching.
And thanks for watching.